in a country where all the people is in the emperor's control. Every body worships him. He is the god of the land. But our MC is the only one to rival him. The MC kills all the knights of the emperor in front of the royal palace. The knight group, which was especially drafted by the emperor, named the Special Force. The only reason this special force exists is to protect the mighty emperor, Leon Cavalan. Our MC is none other than the commander of the special force, Yan. He is going to kill the emperor as the emperor has made all to the soldiers and his people as his puppet. Yan is setting all the knights free by killing them. In the palace, the emperor is sitting and talking with a fairy. In that time, Yan entered the palace and stands in front of the emperor. By seeing him, the emperor said that he didn't understand, that the most loyal and obedient servant of his revolt against him. Yan was completely beat up from fighting with all the members of the special force. He also lost one of his hands. The emperor asked him, how long has it been since he has become the commander, and said that he also remembers the day Yan got recruit in the special force. The Special Force Training Hall, which is known as Pit of Solitude. He joined as a slave, and with his own affords, he has become the commander of the Special Force. The emperor then questioned him, that if he was unsatisfied with something. Yan breaks a piece of sword that was stuck in this abdomen and stabs it into his ears. He said that shoving a bug into someone's head, everything is bullshit. He has no memory of his past. He has lost everything. He even didn't know his parents and family. He even didn't know who he is. As Yan was bursting out his anger, the emperor grabs the fairy and bites the fairy's head and recites a spell. As he recites the spell, a sword comes and pierces the heart of Yan. The emperor then stand up and said he didn't know how Yan found the bug, but it's a shame he has to die, as he was the toy the emperor liked. Yan closed his eyes with a regret that his whole life was in vain. After that, Yan hears voice saying him to wake up. Yan wakes up and was shocked to find that he is still alive, even though a sword pierced his heart. He look around the place and finds it familiar. He touches the pillar behind him and found out that this is the great stone sword, which is the symbol of the Special Force Training Hall. An uncountable number of soldiers has died in front of his great stone sword. He then looks at his body and found that his body is smaller than usual, and the clothes he was wearing is the same that he used to wear when he was first recruited. As he was thinking, a white hair boy punches him, and he fly away and hit a wall. The white hair boy said that why is he distracted, and if he is looking down on him. By seeing him, Yan remembers that his name is Roman and he is the 12th recruit of the Special Force. Yan asked if they were in the middle of training. Roman replied that training is only an excuse. He is planning to beat Yan up, as no one cares if a low-level recruit dies. After this, Yan gets all his puzzled pieces and comes to a conclusion that he has returned to the past. He is happy that he has gotten a chance to execute his revenge. He will use this chance to behead the emperor. Yan then told Roman that he will not get a girlfriend even when he is 40. This makes Roman angry and he attacks Yan. Yan then further mocked him by saying that he get hit from this slow punches. This take Roman anger on a higher level. Roman then unleashed a technique called Dark Choas, 7th formation, punching rampage. Yan was dodging all of the punches as they both come close. Yan told Roman to take this as an advice and gives him a 1-inch punch. After getting hit from Yan's 1-inch punch, Roman fly away. As Yan was going to hit him more, he saw a pendant that breaks out from his neck and lands on the floor. By seeing this, Yan said to Roman that his luck is good and takes the pendant on his hand. He opens the lid of the pendant and saw an old photo of him with a man and woman standing beside him. Seeing this, Yan starts to cry, as this was his family that he has forgotten about. Love, family, and the memories that he has forgotten for more than 30 years are coming to him. What he could not obtain even after setting the imperial palace on fire and killing all the imperial knights is now on his hand. He also understands the mistake he was going to make, and decides that he is not going to waste this life on something as pathetic as revenge. He will get out of this place and will live the life with his family. The Special Task Force reports directly to the Emperor only. The Special Force has completed many impossible missions successful, such as the fall of the Verna Fortress, the assassination of the Grand Duke of the North. The Special Forces has completed many such missions in the history of the Empire, along with the one that stands at the top of the Special Forces, the commander of the Special Task Force, Yan. He is the right-hand man of the Emperor and the Empire's strongest knight. That body of his that hold all the power and strength now has turned into a shitty state. The commander of the Special Force is now an errand for a purification squad. There are 1,000 trainee soldiers in the Special Force in this place. Everyone becomes stronger by killing each other to survive. On a daily basis, an average of 3 to 4 people die in front of this great stone sword. Those empty spots are filled up either by kidnapping others or by those who are willing volunteered to join. The training ground is the Dragon Den located in the northwestern mountain range. The inside of this place is a labyrinth, like a dungeon. The trainee soldiers are each assigned a number. The numbers are assigned by the skills and strength of the trainee soldier, and they can climb up the ranks through test and competition. This is a pyramid-like system where the higher the number is, the better the treatments is received. Under such a system, it's hard for the lowest-ranked trainee soldier of the 90th batch of trainees to survive. Yan is assigned a number of 974, as his number is among the lowest, so he is assigned to do labor or to help others people training. As he was carrying the boxes, he gets hit by other people and fall on the ground. He told them if they don't have eyes. But in a pyramid-like system, there are those who stands at the top. The beautiful girl said sorry to him for bumping into him. These people are the high-ranked trainee soldier, the successor of the Empire's nobles. For the sake of the Empire's loyalty and to continue their family line, the nobles join the training center. They live a comfortable life at the training center because of their noble status. They are also not required to inject bugs in their head, and they are already prisoners through the privilege of the nobility. The high-rank trainees maintain their rank because of the service and treatments they get from it. Lorina Beowulf, Crewell Dwight, Kasha Everain. The 3 of them are always in the top 3. As Lorina was apologizing to Yan, Crewell stops her said that why she is telling sorry to a trash like him. Crewell gives an angry look at Yan and said that even though they are training together, but they do not belong to the same status. He then mocks Yan for having the lowest number and calls him dumb and so many stuffs. Yan was so pissed off that he was thinking to split Crewell's head, but he bears this all as killing him will cause him problem. He then said sorry to them. But Crewell was not letting him go easily and said that only humans apologize. He told Yan to get on the ground and beg for forgiveness. As Yan stands still, Crewell starts to scold him. But in the meanwhile, Lorina assembles all the scattered boxes and convinces Crewell to let Yan go, as it is his first time meeting a noble. The 3 of them then let the place. Lorina said sorry to Yan again before leaving. Yan then takes all the boxes and starts his work. While he was going to the room that he was ordered of deliver the boxes, he noticed a strong bloodlust coming from the side road in front of him. He was thinking of Roman, but he then ignores it and starts to walk. While he come in front of the alley, he saw Lorina Beowulf was waiting for him there. The greatest criminal that the Imperial Knights also failed to catch, the Blue Iron Arm Galder. He committed his first murder at the age of 11 and formed a robber group at the age of 20. He attacked 23 villages and 17 guilds. His arms that even deflect the strongest of the strongest sword is the symbol of fear. But Lorina Beowulf, she alone take down the blue iron arm Galder and walk down the road with arm that was the symbol of fear. This show of her was enough for her get accepted in the special task force, the Beowulf Duchy, one of the top 4 noble families that rule over the northern Snow Mountain region. The knights of the family say that Lorina possessed the potential to become the strongest swordsman in the continent. She is also the strongest member of the Beowulf family, and she is also known as the Sword Saint. As Lorina and Jan stands in front of each other, she asked Jan what is his objective and why he is hiding his true power. Jan does not want to get more involved with Lorina, so he wants to end the conversation shortly. He replied to her that he has no idea about what she is saying. Lorina then mentions the incident that happens in the training hall. She said when she passing by the training hall, she saw Jan and Roman fighting. At first she thought that it is a fight between low-ranked trainee, but she was amazed to see Jan performing the 1-inch punch. She asked Jan that why he is just a low-ranked trainee with skill like that. Jan didn't reply and acts like he didn't know anything. Seeing Jan, Lorina said that she has got the wrong person. Lorina was going to leave the place by shaking her hand with Jan, but she decides to test Jan one last time. She used a 1-inch punch to see the reaction of Jan. Jan found out about this plan of her. He didn't move and takes the hit from her. After getting hit by her punch, he fall on the ground and starts to act like a pitiful commoner. By seeing this, Lorina was very shocked as she thought Jan would dodge her attack easily. As Lorina has a kind heart, she feels guilty for punch a poor boy, so she helps Jan to carry the boxes. She carried the boxes with Jan to the storeroom. Jan then expressed his gratitude to her as she was taking her leave. She asked Jan if he saw her punch. She said that she saw Jan's eyes were following her hand, and she also hopes that her assumption is also wrong for this time too. She leaves the room by saying that she will meet with Jan again. As she leaves, Jan thinks of her as a potential threat. He wants to kill her. Jan can kill her easily, but this will be a great problem to him as the whole Beowulf family will become his enemy. So he ignores all these foul thoughts and starts to focus on his plan of escaping this place. He comes to a toilet and was searching for something. When he was the special force commander, he caught a person who was able to escape from this place. He tortured that person to know from where he was able to escape. The person said him that in the 3rd area of the 5th cubicle, in the abandoned toilet, if he breaks the toilet wall, there is a small exit found. Jan goes to the located place and also found the hole, but a digging is needed for him to fit in as the hole was quite small. He gets happy that at last he can escape the special task force and regain his freedom. Afterwards, we can see at the special task force the guard is roll calling everyone. But when he calls for 974, which is Jan's number, at first, he didn't respond, so the guard thought that he has escaped, so he goes to check him and see that he is there and is laying on his bed. By seeing him, the guard shouted at him and told him to answer quickly. The guard then leaves by saying them to blow off the candles and sleep. Later Jan was think that after all of the mission he has performed, he has understand one principle, that is, the more cautiously you moved, the higher the rate of success. Jan has only one chance to escape, and if he managed to escape, the pursuit team will chase after him. That will cause him a lot of troubles, and if he gets caught, he will be executed, and he will be an example for all the special task force members. So to avoid all these cases, he decides to train himself in a special technique, even though his current body cannot bear this technique. He sits on the ground in a lotus position and starts to practice the dark dragon's breathing, a mana circulation, technique that only the special task force commanders know, as Jan body cannot bear the effects of the technique. So to reduce the after effects, he creates an energy core which will act as a mana engine. But there is a catch that the energy core cannot be created shortly, but there is only one other way, and it is to use the divine dragon breathing. As he starts to practice it, the surrounding mana gets into his body at a lightning speed, and his full body gets overloaded with mana as if a dragon has entered into his body. The divine dragon's breathing is a secret technique of the first emperor who founded this empire as he conquered numerous countries with a single sword. The technique was so powerful that the emperor who was bored and went out searching for it, personally. As Yan was practicing, he notices that all the mana from his body is no getting out. He tried his best to hold the mana into his body. This also causes him to deal with a great amount of pain. But unfortunately, he failed to learn the technique. And one of the main reasons is that he only knows the half of the secret technique. Back when he was the commander, the emperor taught him this secret technique, but he was only taught half of the technique, which is how to absorb the mana. He didn't learn how to compress it, that's why he failed to learn the technique. So he decides to leave the technique for now, as it will take a lot of time to get the other half of the technique. So he focused on how to escape this place. On the next day, all the trainees were gathered in the training field. A rumor has spread among the trainee that today they will be released from this place. By hearing this, Yan thinks that what a ridiculous dream it is. He then hides himself as Roman was searching for him. In the meantime, the instructor comes and shouts at them to shut up their mouth from hearing. The voice of the instructor, all the trainee holds their ears in pain, and some of them starts to bleed and also falls unconscious. This all happens because the instructor used a voice technique called the aura, voice, echo. This is a technique where one uses mana while speaking. Yan also gets a bit nervous to see the person as he is, the commander of all the instructors in the special task force named Damain. After that, some instructors come and take up all the unconscious trainees and told all of the other trainees to be quiet and line up immediately and carefully hear the words of the commander. Yan starts to get very nervous as the commander is a person that treats the low-ranked trainees as his toys and plays with them, and if he by chance gets caught in his eyes, his escaping planning will all be gone and he will be killed. The commander then speaks up and said to all of the trainees that they all are trash, and if he could, he would kill all of them. He then puts a smile on this face and said, not to be worried, as the emperor, who is a very kind person, has given them one last chance, which is to be selected to participate in a mercenary project. This is a project to select the members to protect the emperor, the dragon of the empire. The selected ones will have the honor of protecting the emperor as a dragon warrior, but the reality is different. They'd brainwash the trainee soldier by inserting a bug into their brains. The true objective of this project is to create puppets for the emperor to control. This is also to create people who can't even kill themselves without the order from the emperor. The commander then told all the trainees to clap at this generous offer of the emperor. All the trainees starts to clap. Yan was clapping, but he was thinking of how to lay a low profile so that he didn't get into the eyes of the commander. In the meantime, Roman spoke up and asked, the commander is being a dragon warrior that great? And if he gets selected into such a great project, will he be able to get the chance to beat the shitty face of his and all the other instructors? As soon as Roman finished his words, the commander launched an attack called the figure flick art and pierced the right side of his chest. He then asked Roman if he is all right, as he thought of him as a Thu one as he spouted such nonsense confidently. But after seeing Roman fallen on the ground, the commander said that he is just an insect. As Roman was laying, everyone thought that he is dead, but Yan knows that he will be saved if his bleeding is stopped, but does not want to do so, as doing this will cause him great problem. After a while, Roman gets up by holding the hole in his chest. As he gets up, he again questioned the commander. He told the commander that what the hell did he said if they are insects, so what the hell are they who gathered all this insects? He also said that in order to survive, he did all sorts of dirty work and endured all sorts of humiliations. Is the emperor and the dragon warrior are the only important things. He then said that if they ought to protect their oh-so-important emperor, they should do it themselves. By hearing this, the commander said to Roman that he is a very tenacious insect, just like a cockroach. He then said that a cockroach can even survive if their head is chopped off, so he wants to see if Roman is the same. After saying this, he attacks Roman, but as the attack was about to land on him, a crystal mole appears between. Crystal moles are a breed of wild rat that's found in the deep undergrounds of a mountain range. It's very notorious despite its cute appearance. It's notoriously known for the fact that when its crystal comes into the slightest contact with something else, it will start to shine and explode. Everyone along with the commander was shocked to see the crystal mole, but because of it, Roman survived. The crystal mole was Jan's. He found it in the toilet and brought it with him, in case if he needed it somewhere. But he never could have imagined that he have to use it so soon. Jan was also at a very serious situation. He was thinking of the commander, has he noticed him or not? And if he get caught, all of it will be over. The commander then said that Roman is really as tenacious as a cockroach, and he likes him. He then dismissed the meeting and leaves. By seeing this, Jan takes a breath of relief and thinks that he is safe. He also feels sorry for Roman, as he know the reason why he gets so desperate. On the other hand, we can see the commander is smiling because he has found for himself new interesting toys. Afterwards, we can see at the Area 3 in the abounded toilet, Jan is digging the small hole. He has been working for 3 days and has made quite a progress. In this 3 days, he had only done digging and support the place with wooden boards. He also used mana in his eyes so that he can able to see even in this dark tunnel. He digged the whole tunnel with a knife. He is able to do the work peacefully, as no one passes through this place because it is in an abounded building that doesn't even show up in the map. While he is progressing at a faster rate, his knife hits a hard think as he used force and pierce his knife. An unexpected situation happens. On the other hand, the guards are roll-calling everyone, and again, when Jan's roll was called, he was not present there. But after a while, B comes with covering his head with the hoodie. As he arrives in front of the guard, he shows his face, which is covered in shit. The guard asked him, that is this disgusting smell coming from him. Jan tells the guard that while he was carrying the barrels, one barrel breaks off, and that barrel contains waste which has fallen on him. By hearing this, the guard told him to go away and wash himself and his clothes. Jan does according the instructor's orders. He was also happy that no one suspected him. The real incident is that the thing that he pierced in the tunnel was a drain pipe, and he pierced it, all the shit brushed into him. But all that aside, his plan is going smoothly. He was gathered some daggers, ropes, and other equipments that is needed for his escape. His body condition is also good to a certain extent. This is the result of his die-harding train. While he was washing his clothes, he hears the taking of 2 instructors and found an important info that makes him happy. The info is that the instructor commander is going away for some work. After hearing this, he thinks that it is a very good change for him to escape. He then starts to walk towards the abounded toilet in the Area 3. As he is going to enter the building, he hears some footsteps, which is coming towards him. He gets every tensed. He was thinking of 2 persons. One is Lorina, and the other is the instructor commander. But as the person comes in front of him, he gets a huge shock because the person is none other than Roman. He then asked Roman what he is doing here, and if he had been following him. He also tells Roman to go away, that he has no time to deal with him. Roman replied that why the hell he is thinking of his as a stalker, and he also said that he has some work to do in here. Jan then asked him why he is walking around with such an injury in his body. Roman said that this little injury is nothing for him. As he finished this words, the blood from his chest comes out like fountain. As Jan addresses this, Roman said that it is nothing but a pimple. By hearing this, Jan starts to walk and said that it is good that it is a pimple, and also tells him to go away as he has lots of things to do. As Jan was going, Roman laughs and asked him if he is busy because he is digging a dog's hole. This words makes Jan very confused and at the same time very tensed. Roman also threatens him that what will happen to him if the instructors have found about this. By hearing this, Jan gets so angry he takes out his dagger and uses his dark hunt skill and slashes the neck of Roman in a second and kills him. "Hey, why aren't you saying anything?" Roman said. By hearing this, Yan get out of his thought in which he is killing Roman. Roman says if he is so scared that he cannot utter a single word. He also tells Yan that Yan should now start begging him and he might show him some kindness and keep his secret. From the inspectors, Yan then speaks up and said he wouldn't do that and tells Roman that he would say anything to the inspectors. Roman then asked why he thinks that he won't tell the inspectors. Yan replied that the reason he won't tell the inspectors is because he loathes the special inspectors more than he does. And the reason he knows it is because of the rebellion he does against the Instructor commander, even though he would have died there, and the strong determination for escaping this place. Yan also said that he is the one who is more willing to escape this place than him, and as the only escape route is the tunnel, will he really tells this to the instructors. By hearing this, Roman says to Yan that he is extraordinary, and the first time he fight with him, he understands that he could have killed him if he wanted, and after that he could figure him out among the others trainees, as he has a certain unique scent. After that, Yan asked Roman how did he find that he is digging a tunnel. Roman replied that he figures it out by his footprints. Yan gets confused and asked to explain it. The training center is mostly made of granite, but I discovered weird footsteps that contained lime powder, and the width and size of the stride were the same as yours, Roman Siad. By hearing this, Yan gets surprised to see that Roman gets to secret only by this small amount of clues. He then says to Roman that he is sharper than he looks. Roman gets confused and couldn't decide if it is compliment or not. As Yan was leaving, Roman tells Yan to tell him about his escape plan and where the tunnel leads to, and what is the probability of escaping. By hearing this, Yan asked Roman if he is asking this because he want to escape together with him. Roman replied that he can't answer that now, since he need time to think about it too. Yan advises Roman to stay here in this place, as he is skilled. He should be able to climb to a better place in about 10 years. Yan also asked Roman that what will happen to those he is trying to protect, and now they are in a situation that they cannot even guarantee their survival, and the persons he is protecting now will still be around him in 10 years' time. Yan then says to Roman that he has to decide now, as they have no time, and if he joins him, they will not be here the day after tomorrow. Roman then asked Yan if he had a plan after he escaped this place. Yan replied he has one. Roman then asked Yan to tell him the plan. Yan says the difference between their ranks is 962 places. If they escape, the instructors will definitely go after Roman first. Roman says to Yan, just like you said, the both of us won't be here the day after tomorrow because he will be in his grave. Yan then praises Roman for being able to think so far in a short amount of time. Yan also says Roman to not complain so much as he is also taking a huge risk. He then asked Roman what he will do. Roman thinks a bit and says he will take the bait. The instructor commander tells all the trainee who have gathered at night that he gathered all of them as he has an announcement to make. The instructor tells everybody to see this night meeting as a positive thing, as he has some good news to share. Meanwhile, Yan thinks today this announcement is about the test details. The instructor then enlightened them by saying the new test date had been confirmed, and it will held in a specific location, and if anyone manages to survive one entire week, he would pass the test, and the location for the test will be the Blade Mountain Rangers. For Yan, it was as he predicted. In the past, there was an adventurer named Nilfra, who knew that a medicinal herb that could cure his mother's sickness grew in the Blade Mountain Ranges. So he went there and he promises his mother he would find the herb and cure her. After that, a tragedy occurred. Nilfra's mother was fortunate, as she never knew what happened to her son until her last breath. Mountain ranges contained numerous monsters and were known to be a prohibited area even within the empire. It starts with goblin appearing, and the deeper you go, the more dangerous the monsters will be. from large demi-human that were rarely spotted, to humongous monsters that only appeared in stories. Such monsters would appear in the Blade Mountain ranges. Besides that, there were also monsters that the world still didn't know about. The world is still in the midst of discovering those monsters, and the monster that lives in the deepest part of the mountains, you will also encounter that being. The instructor finishes the story by saying he would be happy to see how many of the insects would die there next week for the test. In the meantime, a man comes to the eye interview with a report about a contract, and he need to go there, which made the instructor quite upset. The instructor dismissed the trainee and goes with the man. Jan didn't expect the instructor to finish the meeting so abruptly, while Jan realizes that this test would be hard for low-ranking trainee, and the high-ranking trainee will be protected by the instructors. For the moment, an announcement occurs saying to step aside as the Miss Lorina is making a presence. While passed through, Miss Lorina glares at Jan, saying she would wait in anticipation for Jan. Jan thinks the situation will get more complicated than he expected and make a pause in his decision, as he will get out of here soon. Jan asked Roman did he give a report on the test situation to the Emperor before the first test starts. While he hates seeing any of the people in the palace, he can't go against the Imperial Order. With this, the main obstacle for Jan's escape is gone, and tonight he and Roman will escape. At night, when the instructor is roll-calling everyone, he comes in front of Jan's cell and call out his role as Jan is responding. The instructor tells Jan to not delay and respond quickly. 2 hands from the instructor's back appears and crack his neck. Jan, Roman, and 2 others has come and kills the instructor as their first task of getting out of this place. After finishing the instructor, Jan tells the others to hide the body properly so that no one can find it. The other 2 trainees that joined Jan and Roman in their escaping mission are Jake and Todd. Jake and Todd hide the body quickly as according to Jan's orders. Roman then says to Jan that he bought this too as per his orders. Jan asked Roman if the 2 of them are competent or not. Of course they are. Roman replied. Roman then asked Jan if he has plans to use these 2 trainees as a bait. There's no way I'd ask you to bring 2 people if that was my intention, Jan said. As they were walking, the Jake and Todd hears this conversation and tells Jan that they will not be death weight and they have come here prepared to lose their lives. Jan understands it and tells everyone to stay quiet as it will. A lot of trouble if they get caught by someone who has a very high listening power. After walking for a while, they comes in front of a huge red gate. Jan says that he needed 2 more people for opening this gate as it cannot be opened by a single person. Jan then says in order to go from our dorms to the abandoned area's toilet. We need to open these doors, but to open these doors, 2 pressure plates need to be stepped on and the switch outside that controls the door must be pulled firstly. 2 of us will step on the pressure plates. After the other 2 go across, they will pull the switch and fix it in place. Then, the 2 from the switches will cross over, after hearing the words of Jan. Everyone understands how to open this gate and escape from this. Jan replied that they should stay here until he gives a signal after that. Jan and Todd goes through the red gate. It's been a while they have gone, and a single signal was given by Jan as time was passing by. Roman gets tensed, and after few minutes the red gate also shuts by. Seeing this, Roman gets totally confused and moves towards the gate, and by hiding the gate he shouts Jan's name. As there is no response, he thinks that Jan has left him behind. He also shouts at himself for not understanding that Jan would betray him. While he was cursing Jan, he heard a voice which says, "Have you gone senile?" By hearing this, Roman asked if it is Jan. The red gate then starts to open, and Jan says to Roman, "That didn't. He told him to wait, and he cannot even do that." Jan was covered with blood, and by seeing blood on Jan's face, Roman asked him, "What has happened?" and if Todd is okay. Jan replied that both of them are okay. and an unexpected situation has arisen, which made him so late to open the gate. Roman asked Yan about the unexpected situation. As they passes the tunnel and gets to the other side to the room, Roman gets shocked, and Yan tells him that he tried feeding sleeping pills, but it didn't work, so he had to fought and kill it, so it took him some time. It was Great Wolf that, by seeing this, Roman asked Yan if he alone killed the Great Wolf. Yan says yes and tells them that they need to move quickly and get out of here. After that, the escape went as planned. Using the passageway that Yan dug in the abandoned toilet, they could see the area outside of the training center. They safely gets out of the tunnel and steps to the ground. Yan then moves towards the cliff and tries to sense for the presence of other, but he couldn't find any presence of other people in the area. He thinks they, the instructors, had probably just found out about their escape, and the pursuit squad should already be on the move. Roman then goes to Yan and tells that if he knew escaping was this easy, he couldn't waste his time in the special training center. Yan then looks at the moon and says that they have taken way too long. Roman then asks to Yan if they are done once. They gets out of this place. Yan tells them to not let their guard down. As this is just the start, Yan then takes out the pendant and opens it, and by seeing the picture, he thinks that this is the start of the journey to get everything back. Yan then tells everyone to stop and listen to him carefully, as they have no time to waste. Yan says that they are in the middle of the Atrian forest, and the Atrian forest is made of sequoia trees. It's located near the front of the Empire's northern mountain ranges. As they are in the center of the forest, they need to run 2 days to get out of the forest. Roman then stops Yan and says, "Wouldn't it be good to hide in the forest? As the sequoia trees are tall, they can hide among them." Yan agrees that there are lots of places to hide in the forest, but there are also dangerous monsters roaming around those places, and the tracking hounds of the instructors will find them in no time. Even they are well hidden, and there will be around 20 members in the pursuit team, and if they get caught, their game will be over. So in order to increase their chance of escaping, they need to disperse and split up the pursuit team. In order to do that, they have to go different ways, and the pursuit team will have no choice but to split up. Yan then says that they just need to shake off 5 members of the pursuit squad each. Roman then gets angry and says that he will be the bait, as he is a high-ranked trainee. The probability of all the pursuit team members chasing after him is high. Yan then says to Roman that now he is complaining, and tells him why did he train so hard and get to the higher level. Yan then says, the 4 of them runs together. The pursuit squad will catch all of them, so they have to run separately so that at least one of them can escape safely. Yan then asked if anyone have any questions, and if they has none, he tells to run them in separate directions. As everybody is about to run, Jake thanks Yan for letting him escape this hellish place. He removes his hoodie and tells Yan that he will definitely repay him when he meets him in the future. At first, Yan thought of Jake as a normal trainee, but after seeing him he gets that he is not, as he also has a story for getting out of this place. That sounds stupid. I don't even want to meet you guys again, Roman said. By hearing this, Yan looks at Roman and said that all this time he acted like a dependable captain, and now he is acting so cold-heartedly. Roman replied, "That's not what he means." He then says, "The only time the 4 of them will meet is when they all get caught, and he doesn't want this, as he wishes all of them to escape safely." Yan understands Roman's thought and says that it is right and wishes the others not to meet again. Yan then tells After that, the 4 of them runs at full speed at 4 different directions. As Yan starts to run and after passing some distance, he uses his divine dragon's breathing mobility, arts, wind flap, and gets on the top of a huge tree. As he gets on the tip of the tree, he gets tired and blames for having such a fragile body. He also finds it hard to maintain the divine dragon's breathing, even though the technique itself is efficient. But he also thinks he glad that he is able to make up for this lacking body that doesn't even have mana flowing within it with body-strengthening techniques. Jan remembers his past self and thinks he is pathetic. He was the commander of the 5th Special Force, a man who is known for being the best at tracking, assassination, and spying. Jan also gets curious about the level of the Pursuit Squad and wants to test them and compare which ears Pursuit Squad is the best. After that, we can see 2 instructors were talking about Pursuit Team, and one of them tells that they have to get a new before the crazy-ass commander returns. As he was saying it, the commander has arrived and places a hand on his shoulder and says that would be impossible as he has already returned. By seeing the commander, the instructor gets scared. The commander then says him to relax as this happens. The instructor starts to beg the commander for misspoking about him. The commander's underling stops, and the other instructor and the commander starts to walk with the instructor and tells him that people even curse at the emperor when he is not around. The commander then asked if he is one of the instructors who is in charge of the trainee dormitories. The instructor replies he is and tells the commander to relax, as the pursuit team will surely capture them. By hearing this, the commander asked him how will the pursuit team will do that. The instructor didn't gets him and asked his pardon. The commander then gets angry and pushes the shoulder of the instructor, and the instructor's feet gets crushed and he falls on the ground. You didn't even know that they were planning an escape, nor did you know that they dug an escape route. You didn't know that they had stolen items needed for their escape, the commander said. The instructor begs the commander to spare his life and to give him a second chance. The commander then steps on the instructor's head and tells that he doesn't have anything like that for him, and he also knows who is behind him. By saying this, he crushes the head of the instruct. In the morning, on the Atrian Forest, the Pursuit Squad Team 3 is following the tracks of a escaped trainee and is rushing towards him. The leader of the team tells the other two to stop. The other 2 then ask the leader if there is something wrong and if the tracks of the trainee disappeared. The leader's name is Kelly. Kelly removes the mask and replied that the tracking is going too smoothly, that it feels so unnatural. The other 2 members of the Team 3 are Jair and Anderi. Jair said that the tracking should be going smoothly as the trainee. They are tracking is number 974. Anderi tells the leader to stop suspecting on everything as they tracked the footprints from the cliff, and also discovered tracks here. The leader then doubts himself for overthinking, but he cannot get out from the uneasy feeling he is having. At that time, it starts to fog, so the leader tells the 2 of them to quickly go and catch the trainee before he hide in the fog. While they are walking, Jair said that their job is easy as they have to capture the number 974. He also feels bad for the team that goes to catch the number 12, as they will be having a hard time. Anderi said that, what's so hard on catching a trainee? Jair then asked Anderi for his number when he was a trainee. As he says this, Jan come from his behind and takes him up to the tree and killed him. After that, as Anderi is about to tells his number, Jan appears from behind a tree with a dagger on his hand and stabs it on Anderi and kills. Now, only one pursuit member is remaining. That is Kelly. After a while, Kelly looks back and he was shocked as he didn't see any of his team members. He gets confused as the 2 of them disappeared without a sound in a short amount of time. He then thinks if the uneasy feeling he is having has something to do with this. But he cannot understand it as it is impossible for even a number 12 trainee to take on an instructor. And how come a number 974 do it? While he was thinking it, Jan's hands approaches him from above. He notices it and used his sneak attack spiral slash and cuts down the tree in front of him and shout that this type A attacks will not work on him. In that moment, a wire comes and wrap around his neck and pulls him. Kelly was totally caught. He then thinks that the footprints and the pieces of clothes were not tracks as they were baits laid out of catch them. Kelly, then asked Yan how a number 974 can kill 3 instructors. Yan didn't answer anything and finishes him quickly. Yan then takes the knife of Kelly and sits on a tree branch and thinks that killing the pursuit team was easier than he thinks, and he should be able to fight without a problem if he used body-strengthening technique. Yan then thinks he need to get out of this forest before the fog swallows it whole. He spread the blood of the pursuit squad all over the area, so the hunting hounds will pick up the scent and come here, and it'll be easier for him to escape once he hide my scent. Yan then chews slime plant. Its fruit is poisonous, and the leaves have a strong stench. He crushed the leaves and smear it all over him, as even hounds hate this stench, so this will erase his scent. So they shouldn't be able to find him with this. You need to hurry up. Escaping will get tougher. The longer he dragged this out, even Yan wouldn't be able to get away if they encircled him and set up an inescapable trap. Yan then notices a black smoke coming from the place where Jake and Todd escaped. He thinks that they are idiots, as this will expose their locations. Yan wants to get to them, but he stops himself as he brought them along to use them as bait. It's actually better for Yan with them attracting attention. Like that, Yan then remembers about the time they spent together and rushed towards them, as it's probably more advantageous for them to be alive right now. He just need to get rid of those tracks before the pursuit squad finds them. While Yan was running, he feels goosebumps that ran across the back of my neck. He can feel it, the eyes of death that he felt on numerous battlefields. He also sensed that something is behind him and is watching him. Yan feels a snake wrapping itself around him with a killing intent. At that moment, Yan hears a voice telling that I am glad that you bit the bait. The voice that Yan heard was none other than our instructor commander, who tells Yan that he was right in his judgment. The instructor thought Yan as an interesting fellow and also predicted that Yan will show something interesting and wonders how attracted Yan to this place. The instructor greets Yan as the trainee soldier 974. Then suddenly, lightning strikes. Yan thought, what's the instructor is doing here? This was impossible, as before Yan regressed. He was sure that the instructor returned later than the planned schedule. There were even rumors that the instructor was imprisoned after causing some troubles at the palace, and assumed that the changed because of his own actions. Yan thought, which action of his caused this phenomenon, but he couldn't think of anything that would influence instructor's actions. Yan believed that the tiny cracks that were created by the different actions he took after his regression ruined the original future. The instructor asked Yan that what he will throw this time around, a mole or a lightning rat. Yan realized that the instructor might have noticed that action of his. The instructor was mesmerized that Yan threw it in such a short instant and praises Yan for his awesome reaction time. In addition, the instructor said that firstly he was confused, but as he saw that, he changed his conclusion. The instructor thought that place only contained novice or vermin, but there was something interesting hiding in there. Yan regretted the previous action. If he hadn't interfered, this wouldn't happen now, and he doesn't know how much of the future changed for this action. But this is the worst scenario possible. Yan thought nothing certain, yet the instructor was known as one of the 3 continental swordsmen, but it will happen in the happen not now. The instructor claps while laughing, saying Yan that he is interesting, and the best as he concludes that Yan is thinking of killing him. The instructor then asked Yan what he intends to do now, as normally people would decide to run, and he, his speechless seeing Yan's action, laughing heavily. The instructor offers Yan a special opportunity to try to kill him, and if he succeeds, the reward will be the freedom he desires. The instructor thought in his mind that Yan's countenance changed as he mentioned that, and he have never seen anyone as Yan, a mere low-rank trainee soldier capable of killing a beast and also annihilate the pursuit team whom were after him. His decision-making, skills, boldness, stamina, technique, and eye for details rivals the higher-rank soldier, and his skills are on a different level from the common folks, as his Yan was born with purpose of becoming a part of the Special Forces. If Yan keeps growing like this, no one can fathom what kind of monster would await us at the end. As the instructor says, Yan to show him his skills. Yan kneels down asking for help, and the instructor gets shocked by his actions. Yan starts making a story by saying that he can't see the person standing in front of him is the instructor or not, as he have poor eyesight. Yan also says that he has no intentions of escaping, and he was dragged with them because if he refused to follow them, they would kill him. However, they abandoned Yan and suddenly went off by themselves, and Yan thought he was a dead meat, but he met the instructor. The instructor investigated Yan that according to him, he was forcefully dragged here. Yan replied, "Yes, that's correct. And trainee number 12 planned it all, and that trainee soldier number 12 always insulted the instructor." The commander thinks in his mind that he would never fall for Yan's cheap tricks. In the meantime, Yan acts like crying in front of the instructor. Yan then immediately throws a kunai to distract the instructor. The instructor thought it as a disappointment as Yan tried to make his guard down so that Yan can attack, but he suddenly gets shocked as Yan instinctually throws another kunai at the same angle, which passes through the instructor's right eye, making 2 small cuts, which caused some bleeding. The instructor thinks that Yan run away but was mistaken and shocked. Yan suddenly appears above the instructor, charging him straight away with a dragger in his hands. Yan uses Dark Shadow 15th form, Shadow Erase, but his attack was deflected. The instructor's body was covered in black fog. The instructor then attacks with the black fog, and it chases Yan. Yan thinks at this he won't be able to shake him, and uses Dark Shadow's secret art Shadow Drop. As a result, his dragger gets broken. The instructor says to Yan that he have to take his words back when he said that he would let Yan go if he defeats him, as he couldn't let go an interesting toy like Yan and he could play with him for an eternity without get bored, as he truly is the best. Yan then saw the pattern in the right shoulder of the instructor and the incident that happened 22 hours ago before he escaped. He was in the Special Forces low-ranked trainee soldiers' accommodation named Cavern. The roll calls were done and the lights were said to be turned off. Yan finished his preparations for escape and thought that after today he would never see this place. He wanted to get out quickly from this place and met his family whom he doesn't know anything about. The only clue he have was an old pendant. Yan promises himself that he would make sure to find them and enjoy a peaceful life. Suddenly, the upper part of the pendant's glass started to break and he discovered that same pattern. Yan thought, is this his family's insignia? The pattern was carved into the lid of the pendant, hidden behind the glass. Yan questioned himself, why is this pattern hidden in this pendant? And if this pattern is really his family's insignia, then is neither a common nor a slave. It was great for Yan, as he found a new piece of information, and if he finds a person who knows about this, he would be able to find his family. But Yan was troubled to see the same pattern on the instructor's body. By seeing Yan lost in thought, the commander asked if he is done as he is doing nothing, and it was getting fun for him. Yan didn't respond to the commander, as he was in his own thought as he found the insignia in such an unexpected place. By seeing the insignia on the commander's neck, Yan thinks that the commander might be related to his family, but it is impossible for the commander to be from his family, as Yan knew the commander, the identity from his past life. While Yan was in his thought, the commander approaches near him and gets anger and tries to kill Yan as he is doing nothing and ruining his fun. From the intense killing intent of the commander, Yan comes to his senses and quickly kicks the commander. Yan guessed that he landed a clear blow, but his guess was wrong when he sees the commander stops the attack with his hand and the kick didn't do a single damage. The commander praises Yan from this powerful kick and asked Yan from where did he learn this types of attacks. The commander then launches his Dark Shadow sword blade suppression technique. As the commander launches this attack, sharp projectiles that are dark in color comes out of the ground and attacks Yan. Yan does back flips to avoid the spikes, but some of the spikes pierce him. As Yan back flips, he sensed that the black spikes has faint killing intent, and from this he figures out that the commander is toying with him. He then thinks that it is good for him, as he will be able to escape when the commander lowers down his guard, but there is a problem. If he escape from here, he won't be able to find out anything about the insignia. And from this reason, Yan change his plan of escaping as he wants to find about his family and if the commander is involved with his family. A huge rebellion is about to take place across the continent in the near future. This rebellion, that's known as the Revolt of Armenia, will bring down 10 kingdoms. Numerous nobles will be slaughtered. The effects of this rebellion were so substantial that it even threatened the survival of the imperial family. Even such a huge rebellion was quelled in the face of the emperor's sword. After the emperor executed all the people who instigated the rebellion and their families, he burned them all. It was said that the fire burned for 20 days, and thus, this incident was named the 20 Days of Twilight. The main culprit behind this rebellion was the previous emperor's bastard child. There were several rumors about why he instigated the rebellion, but no one knows the truth because all relevant records were erased. All those who remembered him referred to him as the Continental Swordsman. The Instructor of the Special Forces Training Center. Yan then thinks if his family is directly related with the commander and the Revolt of Armenia, his family who's involved in the rebellion could cease to exist. So Yan thinks he must stop that from happening. No matter what, Yan then gives up on escaping and plans to remain in the special forces and gain the commander's trust. Yan then starts to think of something to make the commander trust him. Yan starts to butter the commander and praises him for his skills, and that he came personally to catch him. He then tells the commander that the captain of the special forces will get very happy to see that the instructor commander is working very hard by hearing this. The commander gets angry and quickly rushes towards Yan and grabs his face and throws him at a tree. The commander throws Yan so hard that Yan pierced through many trees. The commander then goes to Yan and grabs his collar and raises him up and said that he thinks of Yan as a nice and intelligent one, but now he sees that Yan is arrogant and also runs his mouth arrogantly. "You don't treasure your life, don't you?" the commander said. Yan replies that an arrogant mouth all speaks a few useful words sometimes. He then tells the commander that he knows a weakness of the captain of the special forces that can be used to get rid of him. By hearing this, the commander gets mad and grabs the collar tightly and asked Yan that how did he get to know such an information. Yan didn't reply to his question and said that the weakness of the captain of the special forces can be found in Simon's Country Unit number 52. After that 1 hour. Later, the commander has reached at the Special Forces Training Center. He has changed his outfit and is walking at the hallway with his subordinate. This subordinate asked him that what he should do to the 3 people that he mentioned before. The commander replies that he should throw the 3 into the cavern again, as he did not want to think about those insects. As the commander was talking to his subordinate, as voice for a head comes, which says, "You are acting all busy, and so here you are. You look like you have all the time in the world, or are you just lazy? Tell me, which is it?" Commander Instructor Damien. The commander didn't reply anything and said, "What brings you here without any notice?" Special Forces. Captain Rodrigo Mayer. The captain then moves closer to the commander and asked him about the situations of the training center. The commander said that it's running perfectly, as usual. The captain then asked if is it Ture, as he has heard something completely different. "Aren't there rumors that the standards of the trainee soldiers are better than the actual squad members?" the commander said. After listening to this, the commander said that he is hearing something such nonsense for the first time. The captain then said he came to take a look because the quality of the squad members that came from the training center was horrid. How are the squad members at fault? The in-charge who's unable to handle the squad members is to be blamed instead, the commander said. As the two were talking, the mana from them starts quivering in the air. The mana is so intense that a weak would probably faint right away. The captain tells the commander instructor that he heard he didn't attend the Imperial family's morning meeting. The commander replied that he had more important business to attend, rather than this trivial matters. The captain investigate what trivial matters. Is there anything more important for a citizen of the Empire than showing respect to the Emperor? The captain intervenes. The captain concludes that the reason the commander acts like this is because that blood flows into him. The captain says to the instructor that the reason he couldn't attend the meeting is because there were escaped soldiers. The captain asked the instructor that is he not even capable of handling trainee soldiers and tells him that he would take care of it for him. The instructor replied abruptly that the captain has mistaken because there were no escaped soldier and that he have heard the wrong information as his ears have grown old and dull. The trainee soldiers simply went out with the instructors to prepare for a test. The commander instructor tells the captain that he have seen a lot of insects recently and asked him he has any idea of if or not. The captain replied that he couldn't comprehend what the instructor is thinking. The instructor then illustrates that he is trampling all the insects he saw in his training center until they meet their demise, but there are so many of them that it's getting troublesome. The instructor has found the den of the insects and says that he would exterminate all of them in one go. Lastly, the instructor takes his leave, saying the captain to have a nice journey. The instructor says to his subordinate that all the indigestion he was experiencing has dissipated after seeing the Special Forces captain taken aback and asked him that the information he gave him, it is true or not. The subordinate replies that the instructor will know once he looks into it while removing his mask. The face was revealed, saying that the instructor will know the fact that his information are correct, and the face none other than our MC Jan's. Simons County, Street 52, is a neglected street, and Jan has lived on that street before. It's a place where almost on one is at sight. It is a street that isn't good for children to live on. But in that place lived the Special Forces captain's daughter. Jan tells this to the instructor commander. By hearing this, the commander asked if he has played with the captain's daughter. Jan replied, yes, and says that as there were not many children, so they all knew each other. By seeing the commander expressions, Jan gets that he is not believing him. All the things that Jan has said is a lie, so how in the world the instructor commander will believe in such a half-assed lie? But Jan has no other choice. He had to make the commander believe in his lies. In a situation where the Special Forces captain and the commander instructor are at loggerheads, although the commander has been searching high and low in the country for the captain's weakness, but he wasn't able to find out the exact location, and the evidence of that would be him reacting to the location that Jan spoke of. Jan thinks that he must make use of this information. The commander says that he finds it a bit strange that even though Jan knows the location of the captain's daughter, but how he is sure that she is the captain's weaknesses. Jan replies that he heard it in person in the past when he was talking to the captain's daughter. She told him that she will be leaving this place soon, and after. Jan asked her for the reason. She replied that there are bad people who are after her dad, and those bad people are looking for her so they can threaten her dad. So, her dad said to her that she have to leave this place, and after a few days later she disappeared as some people in black clothes brought her away. Jan then says that he only knew after he came here that those people were members of the Special Forces, and she is the daughter of the Special Forces captain. The commander hears to Jan's story very carefully, and after that he says that how come all the things have come together like puzzle pieces. Jan says that it might be that the goddess of luck is helping him. By hearing this, the commander throws a pen at Jan. Jan dodges the pen so it did pierce him and hits the wall behind him. The pen makes a small cut on Jan's face. After that, the commander says that, after heeding all the things, he thinks that Jan is the spy of the captain. Jan says to the commander that he understands why he thinks that. He also says that it is not a coincidence that all the pieces of the puzzle has come together. He is the one who personally picked the puzzle pieces and connected them so he could survive. Jan then says that if he really were a spy. As the commander mentioned, there's no need for him to risk his life and try to escape, and this information is for him to use in case his escape attempt failed. So he kept it for this moment. The commander hears him and nods his head. To make the commander believe him more, Jan tells him that he also knows that where the captain's daughter is taken to. The commander then stands up and faces towards the window and says that if really the goddess Luck is on his side. By hearing this, Jan gets happy as his plan to the make. The commander believe him has worked. Commander then says Jan to go back. With this, Jan has overcome a crisis, even though the commander probably doesn't believe everything. Jan said, but this is enough for now. As time goes, Jan will get closer to him, slowly. Jan then says, the commander farewell and takes his leave. As Jan leaves, the commander thinks that how a guy like him is number 974, and he thinks that the instructors have no eye for evaluating people. The commander then takes the form of Jan in his hand and smiles. After that, a week later, at the demonic realm Blade Mountain ranges, the first Special Forces trainee soldier exam starts. The demonic realm Blade Mountain ranges is a restricted area in the Empire. This area is one where all sorts of monsters inhabit and is undoubtedly the most dangerous place. As the first Special Forces trainee soldier exam begins, some trainee soldiers are hunting in the swamp goblin area. The scent trainees killed all the goblins there and make the place flooded with goblins' blood. The trainees starts to think that the demonic realm Blade Mountain ranges is not dangerous at all, and the 7 days they need to spend here to pass the test will be done easily. The leader of the trainee team told them to be quiet and also reminds them about the other condition for passing. The test is to kill monster and collect demonic crystals from them. He also says that even if they survive, their scores are determined by the number of demonic crystals they have gathered, and if they get a lot of demonic crystals, they will be able to climb not just higher status, but maybe even higher than the 4 great families. While they were talking about this, a huge hand comes from the top and grabs the head to a trainee and just simply twist it, as this is how the trainee number 320 died in the hands of a gold ogre. Gold ogre is a mutated ogre species. It conceals its presence with mana before approaching its prey. By seeing the use monster, all the trainees get scared and takes attacking position. The gold ogre then rises the number 320 trainee and starts to shake him. The ogre then swing its hand and instantly killed 2 trainees, the instructor. Commander watches all of this with a green crystal. After watching all of this, he tells all the other trainees that the first 30 trainee that were sent to the demonic realm mountain ranges are all death, and to proceed quickly, they will send 50 trainees to the demonic realm mountain ranges after every 5 minutes. Jan thinks that he has to eventually go inside the demonic realm. Jan looks at the instructor and sees him happy. Jan then thinks that if he needs to get closer to the commander, he will need scores that are extremely outstanding, and to achieve that, he would first need to do something about this body, because there's a limit to how much he can grow with a half-assed divine dragon's breathing technique. Jan then smiles a bit, because it will be beneficial for him to go inside the demonic realm. There are still 2 treasures in the demonic realm that still no one knows about, and if he gets them, he will be able to grow faster. After that, an instructor comes and tells something to the commander. Jan gets a bit confused, as this scene never happens before. After that, the commander and the rest of the instructors kneels down by saying the trainees to pay their respects to the ruler of the Kavalan Empire, the legitimate successor of their great emperor. As they says this, the crown prince, Leon Cavalan, arrives there. By seeing him, Yan gets totally shocked because based on his past memories, the only notable event that occurs during this time is the death of 500 trainees, but the scene that is happening now is a special event. The crown prince greets all the trainees and introduces himself. All the trainees then fell on their knees and greets the crown prince. But Yan gets very angry, and this blood starts to boil out of anger. The crown prince then tells all of them to be at ease. He also says to all the trainees to raise their hands if any one of them want to get out of this hellish place. The crown prince also says that he swear upon his name that he will guarantee their safety. As Yan hears this, he gets super shocked, as this not the prince that he used to know. After that, we can see a little flashback of Yan's past life at Capital Avalon at the Emperor's residence. Yan has come the Emperor Leon and says that the team they have sent has successfully burned the demonic crystals mine, and now they are trapped and they should send reinforcements to safely bring them Emperor. Leon says Yan to leave them as they are so that they can sacrifice themselves and take down some enemies. Yan says that they should not just abounded their soldiers that has fought for the empire. The emperor then says that the world is like chess. All the pieces only exists for the sake of the emperor, the one and only king. The Emperor Leon also says that it will be a great honor for them to sacrifice their life for him. This type of person is Leon, who is merciless and cruel. Back to the present, Leon the Crown Prince tells all the noble family's children who has entered in this special training to earn strength to go back, unless they wants to go UP against him when he ascend the throne. By hearing this, all the trainees get shocked. Yan also cannot understand if the Emperor Leon and this Crown Prince Leon are the same persons. The commander then goes towards the prince and tells him that by hearing his speech, all the trainees are in huge shock. The prince then says that, "What's the reason for conducting such an unethical project like this?" The commander replies that the special forces exist for the sake of protecting the empire and the emperor. By hearing this, the prince shouts at commander that not to say something this ridiculous in front of him. The prince also says that the emperor exists for the people and orders the commander to stop this evil practices. The commander replies that this is something His Majesty has approved, and everything here is done legitimately within the bounds of the laws. The prince shouts legitimate and says that if there is anyone among the trainees that has volunteered for the test, he will stand down. On one among the trainee has volunteered. But after a while, Yan stands up and greets the prince and introduces himself and says that he would like to participate in the test. The prince looked shocked and asked Yan that as he is a low-ranked trainee, isn't he as mistreated here? And so why he is willing to participate in the test. Yan agrees with the prince that he is mistreated here, but there's something here that's given fairly regardless of their rank. And that is the qualification for them to risk our lives in order to climb higher. And that's why he wants to participate in this test to achieve something great. By hearing this, the prince gets a bit disappointed and leaves by telling the commander to continue the test and he watching. As the prince leaves, the test begins. Trainees are sent to demonic realm via a rap gate. Eventually, the turn of Yan has also come. He then stands on the rap, and green light starts to appear for the grounds marking. All this time, Yan thinks that in his previous life, Leon didn't come to the training center, and he is also completely different from the Leon he knew. Yan then asked himself if all of this is happening because of his influence, and what has really happened to Leon. While thinking all of that, Yan has been teleported to the demonic realm. As he gets teleported, he sees that there is no one else around him. So he walks to scout the area and tries to find a weapon. As he walks, he smells a familiar smell of sulfur and demonic energy. From the smell, he gets it that he is in the Blade Mountain Ranges, Valley of Wind. As he was standing still, he sensed that a monster is approaching him from behind. On the other side, where the rest of the trainees are, a cockatoo griffin has launched its attack to the trainees. The trainees gets panicked by see the monster rushing towards them. But at that time, rank 1 trainee Lorina Beowulf comes, and by using the Dark Soul 15 form technique, Stardust, she kills the monster. The trainees that began to thank her for saving their lives. Lorina then asked that if their team is made up of low-ranked trainees. They replied yes, and says that their team is mainly made up of 700 ranked trainees. They also says that as many of their members are injured, so they are facing hardship to get out of the valley, so they request Lorina that if they can travel with her team until they get out of the valley. Lorina replied that they can follow them as much as they like, as it doesn't matter to her. By saying this, Lorina starts to think to Jan as she has not seen him. The bold attitude of Jan in front of the prince has left quite an impression to her. She also cannot get it, that why Jan is so willing to participate in this hellish test. While she was thinking all of this at that time, rank 2 trainee Cruel Dwight comes and says to Lorina that she is doing something stupid again for letting these vermins in 700s to follow them, as they will be a burden for them. Cruel also asked that if she is willing to take care of them as their parents, and if she thinks that this generous compassion of her will help anyone. Lorina gives an angry look and says, Cruel, to watch what he is saying, and also tells him that a rank of someone doesn't tell everything about them. While the two of them are talking at that time, the ranked 3 trainee Kasha Everain comes and says that why they are arguing with each other. She then tells to Cruel that he is really short-sighted. Cruel asked what she is saying. Kasha says that this test is an individual test, so there is no need to complete among each other. Cruel then asked that if she is also willing to travel with this vermins. Kasha replied that with a bigger team, it will be easier to deal with a crisis. She also says that as a noble, shouldn't they lead the commoners? Ha, noble, can you call the bloodline of a traitor? A noble as well, you want to lead the commoners? Let's see, what did the Everain family do while leading the commanders? Be careful, it'd be such a waste if the last Everain went to the gallows, right? Cruel said this to Kasha. Thanks for your concern. I guess I was too focused on trying to restore my family, though Cruel, I'm so envious of you in times like that. Since you have your 2 older brothers taking charge of the Dwight family, you can just live however you want. Kasha replied this to Cruel. By hearing this, Cruel gets mad and tries to kill Kasha, but Lorina steps in and stops Cruel from doing this. After that, Cruel starts to walk away and says that he will only lose out by traveling with useless bastards like them. He then starts to walk away alone, and after a while he found traces of blood on the ground. By seeing the blood droplets, he starts to follow it. He then comes to the place and thinks that it would be a monster den, so he hides himself behind a boulder and picks a bit. But by seeing the scene, he gets shocked as there is a human who has killed a large number of red goblins and is eating the heart of the goblins. The 2 items that are found in the Blade Mountain Ranges. Jan must obtain them in order to execute his plan. As Jan is waking, he thinks that the first thing he should obtain is the goblin's heart. While he is thinking this at that time, ambush him from behind. Jan notices it, and by using Dark Soul, 21st form draconic flames, he pierced through the goblin's chest and takes out the heart. He then uses the draconic flames to burn the goblin to crisp. After that, as he looks forward, he sees a group of goblins looking at him with lustful eyes. Jan smiles and says that he didn't thought that the thing he wants would come to him walking. Jan then jumps towards the group of goblins. Magic crystals are usually just deemed as byproducts of monster hunting. They're usually just used as accessories for magic items. But one day, Something happened that caused the value of magic crystals to re-astronomically. Professor Isaac, the magic scholar, published a thesis in the Academy that humans can absorb the traits and mana of a monster by using magic crystals, stamina from orcs, regeneration from trolls, and strength from ogres. Naturally, the world academics opposed to his thesis. They says that it's ridiculous as human and monsters use mana differently. The headmaster Neuron then asked Isaac that if he can prove his thesis, he also tells Isaac that if he can't prove his thesis, he will get expelled. After Isaac applied his thesis on Neuron, he gets bulk, and now he has more muscles than a young boy. As soon as the thesis was proven, the mana users of the whole continent got excited. Monsters became more frequently seen in pharmacies than in dungeons. Everyone questioned Isaac that if the process to absorb mana stone is complicated, the process to remove poison from the magic crystal is extremely complicated. It needs either the flower of the moonbug or volcanic stones. But the absorption itself is very simple. You just eat it, Isaac replied. Yan kills all the goblins and starts to take their heart and eat it, to eat the monster's magic crystal and heart in a 2:1 ratio. This method of eating that harmonizes the magic crystal's mana and the poison that expels from the heart. As Yan eats it, he feels very disgusting and he spits a bit of it due to the poison. To absorb mana, crystals, one must be prepared to risk their life. The poison starts to destroy the indies of Yan, so to slowly purge the poison, he uses Divine Dragon's breathing. After using the breathing technique, the poison calmed down. While Yan is absorbing the heart at that time, Cruel sees this, and he launched a sneak attack. The attack of Cruel makes the area to get covered in dust. In the meanwhile, Cruel says that he is surprised to see this sight, that a 900s rank trainee killed all of this goblins. He also says that now he will kill him and take all this magic crystals with him. As the dust clears, Cruel gets shocked to see that Yan is not there. Yan escaped Cruel's attack, and he gets behind a stone. He then tells Cruel that hooligans like him are more dangerous than the monsters in the Blade Mountain ranges. Did you manage to get away? You sure got lucky. I heard there's a tribe among the barbarians that eat monsters. It's actually way more repulsive than I thought to see one in person. While I'd love to beat a barbarian like you to death right now, I'll spare your life if you show me sincerity. Cruel says this to Yan. Yan asked that he means by showing sincerity. Cruel replies that if Yan give him all the magic crystals he has gathered so far, he will show him the mercy of the noble. Yan tells Cruel that he doesn't have any magic crystals because he ate all of them. Hearing this, Cruel gets angry and threatens Yan that no one is here so he can kill him easily, so if he value his life, he should hand to him all the magic crystals. Yan gives a sinister look, says that right. No one else is here. Yeah, you're finally realizing the situation you're in. Quietly hand over. Cruel says this. As he says this, Yan moves quickly and punched at Cruel's stomach. Dwight estate. I must become the master of this estate. I was 12. When I came to understand the state of the world, its trash-like state made me feel I'd be the natural choice to succeed this family. However, misfortune had struck me as I was stuck with 2 trash cans above me. They were scared. They didn't want me to succeed the family. Hence, I was thrown into the Special Forces Training Center by them, under the pretext of training me. I can't believe it was their decision to throw me in that dump site of a place. I will never forget them. Cruel Dwight, is the true successor of the Dwight family. I'm on a whole another level unlike in trash. The moment I get out of this place, I'll exterminate all of the trash bastards. This is the history of Cruel. In the fighting between Yan and Cruel, Yan comes out as the winner, and he takes Cruel of the Valley of Snakes, the single path that leads below the cliff. The shape of the path denotes the slithering of a snake. Hence, it was named the Valley of Snakes.
As no living organisms approach this area, no one knows where the end of the valley is. Yan makes Cruel his dog. He binds a rope to Cruel's neck and let his carry the bodies of goblin. After following Yan for a bit, he tells Yan that he is not a person who can do this types of work, as he is the true successor of the Dwight family. "I don't want to hear you yapping about your family," Yan tells him and pulls the rope and tells Cruel to walk faster. Cruel asked Yan that why is he making him do this? Yan replies that he is the one to brought this upon him. Yan also tells that this punishment is very low for trying to kill him. Cruel then questioned that why is he bring so many goblin cropses with him? Yan tells him to shut up and walk quietly. "You know you can get punished via the Empire." Laws for making a noble do manual labor. Cruel says this. Yan throws a stone at Cruel at it, hits at his nose. Cruel lays on the ground and rolls around due to pain. He couldn't says anything by remembering the beating he received from Yan. At first he thought that he can defeat Yan easily. Yan slaps him and defeated him in a humiliating way. After that, Cruel gets up and starts to walk behind Yan. He gets angry and thinks that after he recovers his mana, he will kill Yan for sure. The killing intent of his gets noticed by Yan. Yan turns around with a scary face and tells him that if he needs to make him understand things further. Seeing this, Cruel gets scared and his killing intent vanishes and he starts to talk about becoming friends with each other. After Cruel settled down, Yan finds him a bit strange. There's a small trace of bloodlust, but it's heading in all directions. Yan only know of one thing with such an energy, just like how there's black magic that uses the power of darkness among the world of magic. There are also demonic martial arts that uses the power of darkness in the world of martial arts. Anul can obtain more power, quicker than the usual martial arts. But it breaks down the user's mana and body as they continue to use it, and the user would eventually be devoured by the darkness and fall into a state of madness. Cruel's nickname in Yan's previous life was Bloodstar. He was notorious for all the evil deeds he committed in order to succeed his family. Yan wonders if the notorious deeds Cruel has in his previous life is because of the demonic martial arts. But in this timeline, it doesn't look like he's learned that at this point in time. After walking for a while, Cruel tells Yan to wait and requests his to release the leash. At first, Yan didn't intend to do so, but as he hears the words of Cruel, his gets convinced and then he releases the leash. Cruel rubs his neck and says that now he feels good. Yan then tells Cruel that his job is done as they have reached their destination. Cruel asked Yan about this place. Yan replies that a real treasure is hidden in this place. After that, Cruel throws the cropses of goblins in the huge crack. He then kicks the bag and tells Yan that he has done the job that has been instructed for. Yan tells him that as he has finished the job, he will give him a piece of advice. "Advice?" Cruel asked. Yan looks down and seems a bit tensed. He advises Cruel to run to the gate without looking back. As Yan says this, we can see two eyes glows at the bottom of the crack. As the bodies of the goblins fall on the bottom, their blood spills on the floor and activates a magic circle. After sucking all the blood from the goblins, the circle glows red and black. Smoke emerges from there. From that, a monster awakens, and it roars. Cruel and Yan is seeing this from above. Cruel asked Yan that what the hell he has done. Yan says that it was all Cruel's doing. He then tells Cruel to get ready as the monster is coming. Seeing them, the monster jumps and rushes towards them. A vertical eye opens on the monster's head, and it tells them to offer souls to him. Kasha and Lorina is with the other trainees. Kasha asks Lorina that if she is feeling all right. Lorina replies, "Yes," and says that an unimaginable evil mana is spreading throughout the whole area. They finds that the center of that mana is coming from the Snake Valley, and they wonders that the hell is going on. Kasha says that she has never encountered anything this strong before. so she is not sure what to make out of it. Looking at the situation, Lorina tells Kasha that they have to change their plan and they should head towards the gate right away. Lorina then announces to the other trainees that they will be going to the gate as fast as possible, so she tells them to throw away any useless baggage and also to throw away the magic crystals. The trainees asked her that what will happen to the test. Lorina tells them to shut up and quickly get to the gate. The trainees then starts to do as they are instructed. Lorina then tells Kasha that the mana is on par with the Patriarch. The Patriarch? No way! His fighting abilities alone are always within the top 5 of the Empire. He's the guardian god of the North. That mana is on par with Duke Beowulf. That means that even if all the instructors came over, they wouldn't be able to defeat that. We are done for. Kasha says this to Lorina. After that, we can see at that instructor post, an intruder has infiltrated their base. It's the monster that Jan has awakened. The monster kills all the instructors in a second. Other instructors see this and rush to attack, but the monster is immensely powerful, and it ignited the instructors in an instant. The monster's quench for the soul hasn't gone yet. It wants more soul. On the other side, Lorina and his squad is running at full speed towards the gate. They have come near the gate at that time they hear some voice. So Lorina tells her squad men to stop. A trainee comes in front of them, and he is walking weirdly, as is, saying that he will offer his soul. The trainee then points his hand towards Lorina and his body brust. Lorina gets ready to fight. Kasha tells the other trainees that they have been ambushed, and she tells them to look for the enemy. At that time, the blood from the brust trainee starts to float in midair, and it takes shape of a magic circle. Seeing this, the low-level trainees get terrible headache and they starts to vomit. Lorina tells everyone to get on guard. From the magic circle, the monster starts to come. The monster tells them that they are the ones who have awakened him from his slumber, so now he will express his gratitude by taking their souls. As the monster has now shown his full body, we can see that it is an ancient lich with 4 hands and 3 eyes. The mages were saddened, because human life was finite, whereas magic was infinite. Blinded by greed, the mages researched on how they could pursue magic eternally. As a result, they offered their souls to the darkness and obtained eternal life. They turned into undead, a monster that loathes all living things, into a lich. As Lorina sees it, she gets that it is not a normal lich. It has absorbed numerous lives and become a being that has existed for almost an eternity. Lorina wonders that why such a monster is lurking around here. On the other side, Roman, Jake, and Todd is rushing towards the gate. As they approaches towards the gate, they sees the death bodies of the instructors. Seeing this, Roman gets tensed, and he remembers the words of Jan before they got transported here. Before teleporting, Roman comes to Jan and asked him that if he want to team up together, as roaming alone in the Blade Mountain ranges is extremely dangerous. Jan tells him that he doesn't want to team up as he intends to go around alone. Before departing, Jan tells Roman that if he feels like something terrible has happened, then he should run towards the gate immediately and forget about the test. Now, seeing all of this, Roman wonders that if all of this is Jan's doing, and what the hell is he thinking right now? Later we can see that the ancient lich is slowly walking towards Lorina. Seeing the lich approaching, Lorina orders her underlings to quickly get to gate number 3, which is the nearest place from here. As Lorina is not coming, so Kasha tells her that she also have to go with them. Lorina unsells his sword and tells Kasha to go, as she will be buying them time for escape. Lorina looks at Kasha and tasked her to safely evacuate all the trainees. At first, Kasha didn't want to leave Lorina alone, but after thinking that she has to take over her family, she decides to leave. Seeing that Lorina is alone, the Lich says that she is a fool, that she is trying to fight him alone. Lorina thinks that she still have some chance of winning. She only have 2 advantages right now. First, She have a blessed mithril sword that undeads are weak against. While she is thinking this, the Lich casted a magic. The magic's name is Skull. Magic Missile. As the Lich casted it, many skulls appear out of nowhere and rush to hit Lorina. Lorina uses her Dark Start mobility skill Wings of the Wind Swallow to avoid all the skulls. She then throws her sword cover towards the skulls as the two of them collides. An explosion occurs which binds the Lich. Lorina uses this chance and gets up. She then jumps towards the Lich and slash him vertically. As the attack lands, Lorina gets shocked to see that his attack is being blocked by the Lich's defense magic protect wall. Lorien gets shocked again to see that the Lich is double casting. In the meantime, the Lich casts a attack, magic using his skulls, and it hits Lorina at the back. Getting hit, Lorina fall, and her weapon gets away and falls on the ground. The Lich then binds Lorina using his skull. Lorina now gets into a terrible situation. She shouts at the Lich to unbind her and let her go this instant. The Lich laughs and says that he will now destroy that haughty soul. After that, the Lich starts to cast his magic. A magic circle comes in front of Lorina, and the Lich says that he will turn her into a corpse that will only serve him. On the other side, at the ancient Lich's lair, Yan enters the lair alone. He walks along the lair wearing a monster leather. As he is about to climb the stairs, a magic circle activates. This is an advanced flame magic trap, known as Flare Tempest. A huge flame totally engulfs Yan, but after a while we can see Yan is absolutely fine. He is totally fine because of the volcano. Monster armor, the leather of the volcano. Armadillo has high fire resistance. It also has a durability that can even withstand explosive fire magic. Yan knows this trap beforehand, so he bought this with him. He then throws the leather and starts to walk. There are a total of 492 magic traps. Among them, there are about 30 moving traps. Yan used the goblins to lure the Lich out of his lair so that he can get his hands on the treasure while the Lich is gone. Although he came up with this plan, but he can't believe it's this simple. Of course, this could only be possible if Yan knew everything about the lair. He got to know about the Lich when he was the captain. After he returned from an assassination mission, he received a report, case number A582157, Ancient Lich. In this case, 1,000 trainee soldiers have gone to the Blade Mountain Ranges, and there they found an immensely powerful monster that killed 900 trainees, and only 100 of them survived. A huge loss that placed the Special Forces Training Center in a critical state. Additional Report 1. We're assuming that the Lich woke up and left his lair after sleeping for a long time and began to suck the blood of the trainees. After that, we were able to locate the Lich as we investigated that incident. The lair was assumed to have been built during the ancient times. It was filled with mysterious treasures, grimoires that would make you a sage even if you read one of them, jewels that would make you so rich that you wouldn't have to work for life if you had one of them. But the most important thing was missing a life vessel. The egg of mana that contains the Lich's life and mana. The life vessel that was missing in Yan's previous life still exists here. Additional report. To discovery of the remnants of a life vessel assumed to have gotten damaged while the Lich was fighting someone, the culprit is undetermined. The incomplete secret technique that the Emperor gave Yan only allowed him to absorb it, but he couldn't compress it. But if Yan have the life vessel, the ultimate form of mana, he could use it to replace the missing function of compression that the secret technique lacked, that could perfect the divine dragon's breathing. Yan thinks this smiles as now. If he used this opportunity, he might be able to surpass his precious self. After walking for a while, Yan comes in front of a gate, in which lies the Lich's altar, and this is also at the bottom level of the lair. Yan then throws a kuni at the gate. As the kuni is about to hit the gate, it is stopped by a magic barrier. After that, a skull comes out of there and attacks Yan. Yan dodges it and moves backwards. This the gatekeeper that Jan has heard off. This is the sealing magic face lock. It is an evil spirit without a physical body, so it is very hard to deal with. The skull then scans Jan's face, and as it didn't match it, tells to verify with the right face. Jan leaves that route as he knows about a secret way around. There was a place written in the report. After searching for a while, Jan found a switch in the wall, so he pressed it. As he pressed it, a door opens. This is the secret passageway made for the slaves. Additional report, 2-2. A large number of slaves are assumed to have lived in the lair. There's a passageway for the slaves to use. Jan knows this info from there. It's a labyrinth with a lot of primitive traps, so it'll take a while to get through this place, but there's nothing a special forces captain like him can't get through, and Jan has plenty of time now, as he knows that Lorina will buy him plenty of time. As the Lich casts the magic, a red rope-like thing comes out of the skull, and it slowly comes towards Lorina. Lorina is not scared. She tells the Lich that the way he smells and acts is just like an old man. Ho ho ho, I'm looking forward to how your soul will contort. I'll rip off your head to use it as my favorite livestock. Shall I try dismembering that body of yours and transplant it into an orc? Or I could also turn you into a zombie and make you eat humans. I wonder if you'll still be this haughty enough talking. Let's begin, it's over for you. The Lich says this. And after that, the red rope-like things rushed to attack her. As the attack is about to hit Lorina, she did something unexpected that shocked the Lich. Lorina catches the red rope with her mouth. She bites it and says to the Lich that all he can do is act, but actually he tastes like shit. The Lich gets mad, and HW starts to make a black-red ball with his hands. This magic's name is Dark Annihilation. Magic Dark Break. As he is about to launch the attack, the Lich noticed something and stops his attack and looks at his lair. Lorina gets confused to see this scene. The Lich gets that the barrier he puts in the altar gate has been broken. He gets furious and binds Lorina's neck with the red rope. He then pulls Lorina towards him and says that how dare she is to distract him while her other friend gets into his lair. Lorina says that what does he mean by that? The Lich gets mad and tells her to shut up. He then uses gravity wave magic and smash her on the ground. The Lich then turns around and orders his skulls to open the gate to his altar. After that, the skulls rotates around at midair and a red portal is made. The Lich gets through the portal. Lorina now gets up and she is injured and also confused to see the sudden disappearance of the Lich. Then in the lair, we can see a red magic circle is formed on the white floor, and from there, the Lich comes out and says, that who dares to defile his altar. The Lich finds no one, and he starts to think that how come someone has break through his barrier, and how did they know about this secret place? He thinks that if this person is from the Mage Guild or an enemy from the Empire's army. As he walks further, he sees that some of his elixirs bottle are rolling around on the floor. Seeing this, he gets angry and shouts, "My elixirs! Who drank them all?" These are the extra elixirs, the best secret potion that the Lich has refined in the last 1,000 years that can reconstruct mana and physical bodies. The Lich's blood is boiling out of anger, and he has prepared these elixirs for 1,000 years for the sake of being revived as a human. After that, we can see Jan is sitting behind the Lich, seeing the Lich. Jan speaks up and says that the extra elixirs tasted so good. Hearing Jan's voice, the Lich turns his head and asks if he is the one who passed through his barrier. Jan tells the Lich to calm down and suggests him to come and have a drink with him, as there is no point in saving them. Jan is at a state of excessive mana consumption. When one consumes too much mana, they'd be in a state similar to a drunken state. Seeing this, the Lich gets mad and gets that Jan is a drunken brat. Seeing as how you rushed back, you must have been having a great time just now. Did I get way of that? It was worth coming in from the main gate. Jan says this to the Lich. The Lich shouts and tells Jan that he will kill him first and then kill all of the others outside. The Lich also asked Jan that if he thought that he wouldn't know that some rat had snuck into his lair. You didn't even know your lair was being raided. You wouldn't have known at all if I had only used the secret passageway, Jan says. The Lich then asked why did he break the barrier of the main gate? The main reason that Jan break the barrier is to save Lorina. When Jan was about to take the secret passageway, he thinks about Lorina, and so he jumps from the stairs and attacks the main gate barrier and destroyed it. Jan replies, the Lich, that he suddenly feel like it, so he breaks the barrier. Jan also says that there were also some ancient documents lying around too, and books about mana heart and energy core. So he asked the Lich that if he has gather all of that like some shut-in for 1,000 years, Cuckoo, do you know how I gathered them? My name is Moman, the one who decided to become an undead for 1,000 years for the sake of revenge. In the last 1,000 years, all I did was to prepare a mere rat like you dares to foil my plans. For the sake of seeking revenge against the bastard who betrayed me and took everything from me, I even swallowed the humiliation of becoming an undead. My great plans are now for naught thanks to you. Jan hears all of this while drinking the elixir. He then says, sorry to the Lich. Seeing him drinking, the Lich gets furious, and he instantly starts to attack Jan with his magic. He uses the Great Flame magic as he wants to even vaporize the blood of Jan. Jan closes his eyes for a bit and reopens them and looks at the Lich confidently and tells him to stop. Hearing this, the Lich stops instantly. The Lich steps back and says that the energy of the mana coming from Jan is very familiar to him. Jan starts to show his chest and tells the Lich that he catch on quickly. As he sides the cloth and shows his chest, there is a small magic circle glowing in his chest. The Lich sees this and asked Jan that if he has consumed his life vessel. Jan tells him that it's a mana heart. A mana heart? You used my life vessel to obtain a mana heart? How do you know how to use a mana heart? The Lich asked. Jan didn't answer him anymore and starts to run away. Seeing this, the Lich uses his wide-range flame, magic heavy fire rain. Jan successfully avoids all the attack and runs. The Lich also starts to cause him. Jan tells the Lich to calm down as if he kills him. He will also die as he holds his life vessel. While chasing Jan, the Lich tells him that he will not kill him. He will use his body and revive himself. The Lich also tells that as Jan has ruined his work of a millennia and has taken his life vessel, and drinks all the elixirs, he will take his body, which will be a fair trade. You want to use my body? Sorry. But I don't swing that way. Jan tells this to the Lich. The Lich then starts to cast a magic, and he tells Jan to give up already and hand him his body. The Lich uses parallel circulation magic, and many magic circles appears and surrounds Jan. The name of this magic is Hexastrom. Jan gets impressed to see this, so to get out of there safely, Jan uses Divine Dragon's breathing, and he also activates his mana heart. As the magic is casted, lightning blots fireball, and few other attacks come out of the magic circles and hit the floor and breaks it into pieces. Seeing this destruction, the Lich says that he used this magic after a long time so he couldn't adjust the power level. He even wondered that if Jan is still alive, but Jan surprised him as he gets behind him and asked him that if he is worried about him. Seeing him, the Lich instantly launched the attack, but Jan jumps to avoid it. Jan uses dark dragon arts and moves at high speed. The Lich gets surprised to see that a rat like Jan can move this fast. After that, Jan quickly gets out the main gate. As Jan is running, he also gets shocked to see that how good he is, as he didn't expected this. Endless. Mana is being circulated from the mana heart. It's as if it's breathing. Is this the true power of the dragon's breathing? Jan wonders. The heart and mana crystal of monsters, elixirs, and even the Lich's life vessel. Jan consumed them all to become stronger. With how things are going, he'll be able to return to his prime days soon. No, maybe it's possible to climb even higher. Yan thinks this runs at full speed. After a while, he comes to a dead end. Yan looks back, sees that the Lich is coming. I activated my trap to shut the door. Now you don't have anywhere else to run to. What will you do? The Lich asked. Yan gets that if this is how things are, he'll have to kill the ancient Lich. No, that won't be possible. He has already used all his tools and weapons. He don't have any ways of fighting him now. The Lich again starts to cast a summoning technique and summons a dragon skull. Yan stands still, and he knows that he don't have any ways of fighting the Lich. But the person on whom common sense doesn't work would. At that time, Prince Leon Cavallon comes breaking through the wall and slashes the dragon skull and stands in front of Yan and asked him if he is okay. He also tells Yan that he did great, says him that he can leave the rest to him. After looking at the monster, Cavallon says that he didn't expect to see such a monster in this place. Hundreds of trainees have either gone missing or died because of you. Those hundreds of trainees are also my citizens. However, they withered away before they even had the chance to bloom. I will never forgive you. Leon Cavallon says this to the Lich. After that, Yan greets the prince. Leon asked Yan that what a trainee like him is doing here. I was tracking the Lich and got separated from the rest, Yan replies. Leon then praises him for informing the location of the Lich. He then tells Yan to run away. Yan thanks Roman for informing this. Before the test, Yan tasked Roman to tell about this, coordinates to the prince. The Lich then asked Leon that the energy from his body smells like Bahamut, so he asked Leon that how the hell is he related to Bahamut. Bahamut, how do you know our founding emperor's name? Leon asked. Founding emperor? To think you're the descendant of Bahamut. What a ridiculous turn of events. This is so ridiculous. Today's a special day like that one. The Lich was the subordinate of Bahamut. Momon, I can't believe you made the divine dragon's breathing. Incredible. You've fulfilled your role. Now, die for me. Bahamut uses Momon and kills him. Momon is the one who formed the divine dragon's breathing. The Lich laughs as the descendant of his sworn enemy has appeared before him like this. Back in the past, when Momon was a human sorcerer, he has always wondered. The energy core's stable flow and ability to maintain energy, along with the mana circle's explosive amplification and ability to absorb if these two become one. What kind of great power would emerge? In order to fulfill that curiosity, Momon began to make use of the body of his friend Bahamut for research. The research was a successful one and new mana had manifested in Bahamut's body. That was the birth of a mana heart. Bahamut has become more muscular and he show off his body to Momon. Momon then asked him that how is he feeling? Bahamut replied that he is feeling great and now he can create a new martial arts. After that, they created a martial art that made use mana heart and named it after Bahamut's wish. The name of the martial arts is the divine dragon's breathing. After the martial arts is created, Bahamut backstabs Momon and he kills him. He then leaves Momon body in the library, and before leaving, he thanks Momon for creating the mana heart and the new divine dragon's breathing martial art. After that, uncountable days has passed by, Momon's flesh has decomposed, and now only his skeleton is left behind. But Momon used his little bit of mana left in his body to hold on to his soul. He was able to cast magic onto his rotting body with just one thought on his mind. Revenge, to meet punishment onto the one who stole everything from him, to give the one who betrayed his trust what he deserves. Momon had prepared 1,000 years for that. The fight between Momon and Leon broke out, the come to the long hall to fight. Momon uses his parallel calculation hexastrom. Leon uses secret art of the dragon's breathing and cuts all the magic circles. Leon then rushed towards Momon using the golden dragon descent technique. Seeing this, Momon says, "Ban a nut! Even after death, you seek to torture me." Prince Leon gets angry and warns the Lich not to mention the name of their founding emperor. After that, the both of them jumps. Momon creates tons of magic circles, but Prince Leon cuts all of them and chases Momon. Momon gets shocked to see that all of his magic circles are being destroyed even before they are activated. In this case, Momon summons his slaves and tells him to garb Leon. Leon didn't get nervous, as he already know how to handle this situation. He rotates his sword and stabs the sword in the ground and uses the golden dragon summoning third technique Hungry Demon Dragon. All the slaves of Momon gets kills even before they are completely summoned. Momon then uses his fourth darkness magic element Strengthening, which is counted by Leon's golden dragon summon, 7th form dragon sword art, 3rd form. Momon then uses a upper level magic, 5th darkness, magic extermination magic, but this magic of his is also destroyed by Leon's imperial secret sword art ultimatum. The clashes of their techniques creates huge explosions. Yan is standing far away, and he sees this and thinks that this battle is truly incredible. Yan also praises Leon for being able to fight this monster, and now seeing this Yan thinks that Leon is the true monster. The energy from Leon's sword resembles a dragon, so Yan wonders if this phenomenon is due to the divine dragon's breathing. Yan also finds this situation as a good opportunity so that he can observe the capabilities of Prince Leon. As in the near future, he has to fight with him. Now Yan wants to run away from here while they are fighting, as his top priority is to find his family. As Yan is about to run away at that time, Rodrigo Meyer comes and stops him and says that where he is going, as this is where things are about to get interesting. Rodrigo garbs Jan's shoulder tightly and looks at him angrily and says, "This is strange. The escape of the trainee soldiers and the appearance of the Lich. Number 974. You seem to always be at the center of both incidents." "Captain Rodrigo," Jan says politely. Rodrigo stops Jan and tells him to address him. "Sir," he also says that the standard of training must be in shambles for Jan to not even know how to greet his superiors properly. And this is just basic manners. What the hell are they teaching trainees nowadays? As Rodrigo is saying all of this, Jan finds him naggy type. Although the instructor commander covered up the escape incident, that was after the incident had been reported. A total of 4 escapees ranging from the trainees with numbers starting from 10 plus to 900 plus. 3 of the higher-ranked trainees were captured in a nearby forest pursuit squad. 3 that had been chasing down the final escapee had all been discovered dead, and the escaped trainee was nowhere to be found. Jan is the last trainee in the escape attempt. Captain Rodrigo then says that he heard the instructor commander personally join the pursuit later on, and a mere low-ranked trainee was able to survive both the pursuit squad and the instructor commander. You also survived the ancient Lich this time round. Could all this be pure luck? I doubt so. Jan smiles and says that it's just not pure luck. He is super lucky. Yen also says that he was threatened by the rest in the escape attempt to become their porter. When he was almost offered as a sacrifice by the Lich, the Crown Prince appeared and saved him. "That's all thanks to luck? Are you seriously asking me to believe that?" Rodrigo asked. Yan says that it's true that he is lucky. He then give a cunning look and asked Rodrigo that if he is going to punish him for being lucky. Impudent brat. I can't believe he dares talk to me like that. To have such guts despite only being number 974, is he a hidden, illegitimate child of a great family? That can't be it, though. Rodrigo thinks this. Jan then asked Rodrigo that if he isn't going to help the prince, help him, don't be silly. If I tried to help, I'd do nothing but stand in his way. Rodrigo replies this to Jan. As the two of them is watching the battle, Jan notices that the Lich's vessel disappeared, but he's still alive. He thinks that it is because he couldn't completely absorb it. Yan then thinks if he activate his mana heart to completely absorb it, all of this will be over. Leon and Momon is fighting fiercely. Now Momon is on running as Leon is attacking him. While chasing him, Leon mocks him by saying that he has been doing nothing by running. Momon gets mad and shouts to shut up. Momon then feels that his mana output is decreasing, and it's been like someone is sucking his mana. He then looks at Yan, and Yan show thumbs up to him. Seeing this, Momon gets furious, and he says that he won't hold back now. Leon sensed something unusual, so he looks at Momon with his eyes wide open. Momon then tears apart his robe, and from there a huge red eye-like thing appears. Showing this, Momon says that he will kill everyone. This is another Momon's technique known as domain expansion. Domain expansion manifests the inner world of the user. Other than the Emperor, there are only 4 patriarchs who are capable of using this skill. Yan and Rodrigo sees this scene from above. Momon shouts, "Die, descendant of Bahamut." Leon gets a bit shocked to see this. Yan then uses the mana heart's full power to absorb the mana of Momon's life vessel. Momon suddenly feels a huge decrease in his mana, and he starts to shake. Leon sees an opening and attacks Momon with his Gold Dragon Dissension's ultimate technique. But as Leon attacks, his sword breaks into pieces. Seeing this, Momon laughs and says that domain expansion is in effect, and an attack like this will do nothing to him. After that, Leon shouts, "Come forth, Dragon Sword!" As he shouts, a golden light comes from the sword's handle and takes its form into a sword. Now Leon uses his Gold Dragon Dissension's ultimate technique. This time, he cuts all the magic circles in half and also slashes Momon into 2. Momon then starts to vanish away. He tries to garb Leon and says his last words of resentment. After that, his body turns into dust and flies away with the wind. Leon looks up and says that it's done. What a terrifying opponent. That was definitely domain expansion. If that had been perfect, the only thing left here would be is dust. I'm still too weak. After that, Rodrigo and Yan comes to Leon, and Rodrigo says that he has taken so much damage, and why did he have to come personally to do such a tripling job? Leon tells Rodrigo to stop nagging. He then asked Yan that if he is injured anywhere. Yan say he is not, and thanks Leon for saving him. After that, Leon orders Rodrigo to take Yan to the medical center. After that, all training in Blade Mountain ranges ceased. The results were way beyond what Yan had imagined. Yan managed to create his mana heart with the life vessel. He was also able to see what the Crown Prince is capable of. Yan thanks Momon for all of this. Later, as the hall is completely empty, we can see that the single piece of Momon's cloth that is lying on the floor shines. After defeating Momon, Yan comes back to the mansion and he takes a break after such a long time. He sits in a couch and is reading a book and enjoying his drink. Yan can't believe that a mansion like this is the residence for a trainee soldier. He wonders that if all the nobles live in such place. It's way too different compared to that hellhole Yan lived in cavern, 178 square feet, with urinal, chair, metal chains, and cockroaches. Compared to that, a mansion is 1,000 square feet, has bed, sofa, shower room, and proper food. This privilege that Yan is enjoying is because of scoring high in the test. The result of the test are given not too long ago. At the hall, all the trainees are gathered, and an instructor comes and says, "Great job, everyone." Although the first test was put to a halt due to the sudden incident, thanks to the Crown Prince's quick response, we were able to bring the whole fiasco to an end. We were able to stop the test safely. Those who survived the test take pride in that. We'll now announce the results. Rank 1 to 10 would be top. Rank 11 to 100 would be the middle. The rest will be bottom, and accommodations will be assigned according to your results. Those who obtained good results will be able to access Imperial Vault. a vault where various weapons, treasures, and technique manuals that existed from the establishment of the Empire up till now can be found. There are hundreds of sacred swords and shelves containing technique manuals that are said to be as large as a fortress. Rank 1 to 10 can access up until the 3rd floor. Rank 100 and above can access up until the 2nd floor. The rest will only be able to access the 1st floor. After saying this, the instructor starts to announce the rankings. Roman has got the 5th rank. He subjugated most of the goblin lair that was in the mountain range. Rank 4, Cruel Dwight. He subjugated the troll lair alone. Rank 3, Kasha Everain. She took command of the trainee soldiers and defeated the orc tribes without any casualties. Rank 2, Lorina Beowulf. She defeated the golden ogre alone. Hearing this, the trainee starts to wonder who the rank 1 is. Kasha seems shocked as she thought Lorina would be number 1. But the results didn't bother Lorina as she thinks the ranking are meaningless. She thinks that rank 1 is simply a facade. As she was way too powerless in front of the real monster, she is determined to get more stronger. What a pathetic sight, Lady Lorina. You acted all big like you could protect everything. But you couldn't even protect your own number 1 spot. Cruel says this. He also says that he heard that Lorena tried to stop the Lich alone when it appeared incredible. What a role model for the nobles. But there's a strange rumor going around that you, Lorina, didn't fight the Lich. You barely survived by pleading for your life. That's not wrong, because the Lich wasn't someone I could defeat with my skills. Lorina says this and starts to walk away. While going away, Lorina thanks Cruel for being interested in rumors about her. She also advises Cruel to start paying more attention to his own results. What did you say? Lorina, you're way too nice living like this. Do you think you can fill the position of the dead Duke Beowulf, the successor of the Beowulf family? It was supposed to be my brother's position, but it belongs to no one now that he's dead. You're aiming for that position, right? That's perfect for your current situation. Oh, wait, could you have created that opportunity for yourself? If that's true, then that'd be huge news. Cruel says this. Lorina looks angrily at Cruel and asks him to guess whether he will die here. Hearing this, Cruel also gets excited and he starts to attack Lorina. At that time, somebody catches Cruel's ear and pulls it. Cruel stops immediately and he asked who dares to catch his ear. The man didn't stop, and upon hearing this, he pulls Cruel's ear so hard that he kneels down out of pain. In the meantime, the instructor announces that trainee number 974 Yan in the rank number 1. And the person who dares to tear Cruel's ear is also Yan. Hearing the announcement, everyone starts to say that how the lowest ranked trainee gets number 1 in the test. Cruel tells Yan to quickly leave his ear, or... Hearing this, Yan gives a death glare at Cruel and asked, "What or?" Cruel lowers his gas and says that he wants to says that his ear hurts a lot. Yan then says hello to Lorina. She asked Yan that how did he get to know Cruel so well. Yan replies that they bump into each other at the mountain ranges. Yan also says that he is happy to see that Lorina didn't get any injuries. Lorina thanks Yan for this. She also thinks that what did Yan do to scare Cruel, who looks down on everybody? And she senses a power from Yan that feels like it could explode at any moment. Lorina wonders what on earth is going on. She has a lot of questions, but there is one thing that she must say right now. After that, Lorina tells Yan that Cruel has been mouthing curse words at Yan since just now. Hearing this, Yan pulls the ear harder, and Cruel begs him to stop, as what Lorina just said is a lie. Geek was awarded this accommodation for placing first on the test. He also got this book from the Imperial Vault. Back to the present, as Yan is thinking this, he suddenly looks at the ceiling and tells to come in. As he says this, the door starts to open, and a voice comes, "How did you know I was outside? Not bad. I even hid my presence." This voice is none other than the Instructor Commander. You haven't forgotten, have you? Between the two of us, there are still some things that we have to settle. The Instructor Commander comes in and says this to Yan. Yan then let the Instructor command sit and gives him a drink. As the Commander takes a sip, Yan asked if he liked it, as he has prepared it in advance because he was expecting him. The instructor commander replies that it's pretty good. Even if you tried to erase your presence, there's no way the aura you give out would disappear after all. Yan says this to the commander. Hearing this, the commander tells Yan to stop his blatant lies. The instructor commander asked Yan that, what magic did he do to the crown prince that he seems very worried about Yan? The crown prince orders the instructor commander to pay close attention about the treatments of Yan. It was probably just a moment of curiosity from him, Yan replies. A moment of curiosity, but it's too bad. While I feel sorry towards the crown prince, I'm wondering if I should kill you. I just received a report. Simons County, unit number 52. No one was there. That came as no surprise, though. We were told that no one's been living there for years. The instructor commander says this Yan. Upon hearing this, Yan says that he guessed that Old Fox, the Special Forces captain, had already made a move. He thinks that he erased everything there after realizing he was being followed. Yan also tells the instructor commander that he will gather the proofs if he don't believe in his words. The instructor commander says that he don't intend to blame Yan for that because it no longer matters if he lied or not. What the instructor commander wants to says that Yan is no longer useful. Upon saying this, the commander taps his feet on the ground, and from the ground, dark, sharp objects comes out and attacks Yan. This attack's name is Dark Shadow Swords. Yan successfully dodged the attack. The instructor commander seems shocked that Yan has dodged his surprise attack. Yan then tells him that in that case, he don't think that the instructor commander should kill him, as he has discovered an important piece of a puzzle. A puzzle? What's that book? Instructor commander asked. Yan replies that this is the Block Meridian's research logs. This is a book Yan took from the Imperial Vault. Although he could access up until the 3rd floor of the Imperial Vault, he chose the Special Forces Grand Library that was on the 1st floor. It's a place where all the books and research logs of every Special Forces captain were gathered. Most of the research logs were about training methods or monsters. After searching for a while, Yan found the research logs written by Special Forces. Captain Rodrigo on Blocked Meridians. Blocked Meridians. A physical constitution, where energies in the body don't circulate properly. The longer the condition persists, the weaker the energies of the body, and in numerous cases, it leads to death. The instructor commander takes the book in his hand and asked, "What's the problem with this? Isn't it strange that a captain would do research on this? There's no way someone in the Special Forces would have that condition. And there's something interesting about Captain Rodrigo doing research about it. There's no way he'd have blocked meridians, but what if his daughter has it? The way she lacked energy and constantly stayed home. Her symptoms are similar to having blocked meridians. The Special Forces captain had researched it to cure his daughter of it. Yan thought Capital Rodrigo had kept her hidden because her existence was his weakness, but that wasn't it. He had changed where she lived for her treatment because it wasn't easy to find a good doctor. The way Yan approached this was wrong to begin with. His daughter isn't the captain's weakness? What exactly are you trying to get at? The instructor commander asked Yan after hearing his story. Yan then says that they wouldn't be able to leash the captain with just this. But instead of just a leash, they could get his life instead. Blocked. Meridians aren't curable yet. A tremendous amount of potions are needed just to keep her stable. He won't be able to pay that huge amount of money. Yan thinks he must have ways of earning money illegally. A place where he can get illegal money easily, it's from the Special Forces. And so, if they find evidence that he stashed away funds of the Special Forces, they can easily hunt down that old fox. Hearing this, the commander shuts the book and tells Yan that everything he says is just hypothetical. Yes, it's only a hypothesis for now, but if this hypothesis is true, we can completely bury that old fox. More importantly, there's zero risk on your side. You'd always be justified in trying to chase him down because he misappropriated the funds of the Special Forces. Yan says. Hearing this, Instructor Commander says that it's not bad. He then throws the book to Yan and says that he has someone in the Special Forces Investigation Squad, so things might unfold smoothly for them. Commander also tells Yan to go and learn more about blocked meridians. Seeing this, Yan smiles as the Instructor Commander has gotten excited. Yan knew this would work, because every piece of information he told him today is the truth. The captain has used the funds of the Special Forces for his daughter's blocked meridian condition. Yan remembers it clearly because this caused a huge ruckus in his past life. The commander then asked Yan that why did he gave up on the 3rd floor and went to the 1st floor to look for this. He also gave up on all those weapons. Yan replies that those weapons mean nothing to him as long as he can be of help to the Instructor Commander. After that, the Instructor Commander starts to walk towards the door and tells Yan that he will give him the reward that he gave up on, and also tells Yan that he don't need to attend basic training lessons from now on. Yan asked that what did he mean by that? The Instructor Commander then looks at Yan, says, "Number 974, I'll take you in as my apprentice." Hearing this, Yan smiles as he has become the apprentice of the Instructor Commander. While leaving the Instructor, Commander tells Yan that he has taken quite a liking to him, as he is on a completely different level from the previous toys he had. This is the perfect opportunity for Yan to get close to the Instructor Commander. Yan then tells the Instructor Commander that someone like him could never dream of being his apprentice. That's too much for him. What? Wait. I just said you're pretty good, though? Didn't you also succeed in ambushing me? The Instructor Commander tells this to Yan. Yan replies that but in the end, he got caught. He further says that he is worried that someone as lacking as him would taint the Instructor Commander's reputation. Upon hearing this, Instructor Commander shouts, "Quite!" and says, "You're my new I've decided that you'll be my new apprentice. That's decided. Prepare for it." Saying this, he immediately left the room. As he leaves, Yan seems in a chill mood as he has made the Instructor Commander impatient. Yan then takes out his watch, and while looking at it, he thinks that he has finally have the change to get closer to the Instructor Commander. And there is a change for Yan to find out about the insignia and his family's secret. Scene changes, and we can see that at the 3rd arena, which is a personal training ground that's made available to executives. Not even the trainees of noble status have access to this, but Yan is the only one training there. He has built up some muscles while training. After a while of training, Yan thinks to take a rest. Yan can feel his body adapting to fit the mana heart, but the speed of the change is still too slow, but he needs to train as per his internal energy for the time being. Yan is able to use this place, thanks to the Instructor Commander. There were varied responses when people knew of this benefit that was given to me by the Instructor Commander. Roman gets angry and says if he became the dog of the Instructor Commander. Kasha seems interested in Yan and secretly wants to be friends with him. And lastly, Lorina, who began to stalk Yan even more. While it looks like the Instructor Commander was touched by the fact that Yan chose to go to the 1st floor for his sake, but this book is just a bait. The real thing is something else. The book that Yan really want to get was The Birth of the Empire. Although it looks like a normal history book, it's a book that would cause an uproar in the future when people find out that it was written by the founding emperor. Although Yan now have a mana heart, but he is still unable to perfectly use the divine dragon's breathing. The divine dragon's breathing was the product of the founding emperor, Bahamut and Momon. In order to perfectly use the divine dragon's breathing, both of them are needed. Right now, Yan need the knowledge of the founding emperor. Come to think of it, Momon is quite pitiful. He got his ultimate technique stolen before he got killed. It's no wonder he became a vengeful lich. Yan opens the book in a thought that he will be able to find any hint about the divine dragon's breathing. But as he opens, he gets shocked as the book is empty. He searches all the pages of the book, but all the pages are blank. Yan gets tensed and starts to think that if all the rumors of his past life is fatal. He also thinks that as the Emperor killed Momon to get monopoly for this breathing, so there is no way he would leave the technique so easily. While Yan is deep in his through at that time, a black hand appears above his head. Yan sensed it as he quickly looks around, but he didn't find anyone or sees anything. Yan then leaves the book and goes back to his training. He starts to train his shadow slash. He uses the technique and slashes the pillar. Yan tried to cut the pillar in half, but he is still too weak for that, and he still can't do it as well as the instructor commander. While Yan is training, he hears a laughing sound, and that sound tells Yan that he is a fool. Yan noticed the sound and gets that it's coming from behind a pillar. The sound also tells Yan that he will never be able to solve the secret of the book. Yan tells to show himself. After that, we can see Momon comes from behind the pillar and says, "Long time no see, foolish brat." "Momon, how are you here? You survived despite taking that hit," Yan asked. "Cuckoo, cuckoo. I learned something through that incident. If I ignore something just because it's a mere insect, it'll still turn into a pain in the butt, especially child like you. You have to pass on sight." Saying this, Momon rushed to attack Yan. As Momon rushed, his robe gets slid away as his appearance is reviled. Momon looks like a boy with long white hairs. Yan thinks that his eyes are deceiving him. The Lich. Momon is actually a woman. As the Lich attacks, she passes through Yan. She again tries to attack, but this time also she passes through. But of them gets shocked seeing this phenomenon. Yan thinks if she is a spirit or just he is imagining things. During the process of the life vessel turning into a mana heart. Did Momon become a part of my thoughts then? Yan wonders, as Momon has no real body so she can't harm Yan, but the noise she is making is irritating Yan. Yan then lets Momon. That why is she wandering like a soul she should have died properly? As Yan says this, the appearance of Momon changes again. She turns more mature, magic scholar. Momon, due to the influence of Yan's mana heart, she returned to her human form. Did you think I'd disappear just like that? Now that I'm back, I'll kill every single one of you. Not only you, but also the bloodline of Bahamut in this darn country. Momon says this after gaining her human form. She then gives an angry look and says that she will torture all of those who betrayed her until they beg her to kill them. While Momon is saying, then Yan interprets her and says that she is becoming small again. Momon replies that it can't be helped as this size is mana efficient. Yan then asked her that how can she take revenge in that form as she looks like a gimmicky plastic surgery advertisement. That's how everyone looks like once you take a good look inside of them. And this is all your fault. I'm currently receiving mana from your mana heart to maintain this form as a part of your thoughts. I'm unable to turn into a proper cognitive form because your magic power is too weak. Why the hell do you have so little mana when you have consumed that many potions? Even a neighborhood dog would have done better than you. Momon says this to Yan. Yan tells her to stop as she has been too harsh on him. Yan then thinks that now Momon will not be a threat to him. Yan, I can sense a faint amount of his mana going to her. The fact that there's a pathway between the two of them means that Momon can also affect Yan. She's the best magic scholar. If she starts to affect Yan by using mana, Yan would be left helpless. After thinking all of this, Yan takes his book and starts to leave. He says goodbye to Momon and tells her to roam the world before disappearing. Momon hears this and shouts bullshit and says that how can a boy who has such low mana adaptability wants to get rid of a cognitive form like her. Hearing this, Yan says, I just need to cut off your food source. You're basically living off my mana heart. If I reduce the mana supply from my mana heart, will you be able to maintain your cognitive form? Disappear now, Momon. Your era has long ended. Momon grinds her teeth out of anger as she has gone through many things to survive, and she don't want to disappear like this. Momon then tells Yan that if she disappears, how will he be able to know the secret of Bahamut's book? Hearing this, Yan decides to keep her alive. After that, Momon tells Yan to open the book and cut his hand and put his blood on the book. Yan does according to Momon's teachings. As Yan does this, Momon infuse a little bit of mana into the book. As the mana gets into the book, the blood starts to take shape and turns into words. The blood makes 2 words, light and darkness. Seeing this, Yan gets confused, so he asked Momon that what is the meaning of this. Momon says that she didn't know, as this book was solely written by Bahamut. Yan also gets it, but as Yan stares at the letters, the word starts to come out the book and floats in the mid-air. The floating words are rearranging them to make new sentences. After the sentences are constructed, they attach to Yan's body. The sentences starts to travel to the mana heart and passes from there and gathers at the abdomen and starts to form a new mana heart. At that time, Yan hears Momon's calling and he came back to his senses. Yan drops the book and starts to think if all this that just happened is an illusion, but the feeling is so teak that it doesn't look like an illusion. Yan then wonders that what kind of incredible secret did Bahamut stash away? Yan didn't unravel this secret to Momon, as he thinks it'll probably be dangerous. Yan thinks to make use of Momon. Yan then starts to walk away and tells Momon to follow him. Yan tells her that they need to find a solution to get a new body for Momon. Hearing this, Momon gets happy and says that she didn't think that Yan has such a nice heart. Yan tells her not to butter him as this will be of no use. He also warns her not to do anything strange. Momon replies, "Of course," and behind Yan she revels her monstrous face and thinks that once she has enough mana she will get rid of Yan. Yan then turns at her. Momon quickly changes her face and starts to whistle. Yan then says that he will just get rid of her as he don't feel good. Hearing this, Momon starts to sweet-coat her words and tells Yan that they are one. So what's the worry? Later on we can see a giant, abandoned colossal. The colossal is deep in the forest surrounded by long trees. The walls are cracked and has moss grown on them. It's evening time, and Yan is there fighting. He is using lots of different moves, and it seems his muscles has gotten bigger again. He uses different types of punches and kicks, but in the end, none of them are useful against his opponent, because his opponent is none other than the famous Instructor commander. Yan again rushed to attack him, but the Instructor commander is standing still. As Yan gets closer, some black reddish liquid-like thing gets out of the Instructor commander's feet. The Instructor commander then raises his hand, and the black liquid gets up and takes the shape of a sword. The Instructor holds the sword in his hand and swings it towards Yan. Seeing this, Yan quickly crosses his hands to defend himself. Due to the swing, a slash of black mana moved towards Yan. The structures behind Yan gets cut into half. After a bit of silence, a huge explosion occurs, and a bright light covers the whole area. After things settle down, we can see thousands of tress gets cut in half, and the cuts are extremely precise. Seeing Yan still alive, the Instructor commander laughs and says that it's amazing, although he did use a little bit of his strength, but he didn't try to kill Yan, and to think that Yan is still breathing is quite amazing for him. Yan flew away and he gets stuck on a tree upside down. Yan then tells his master to stop trying to kill him when they are sparring, and at least teach him how to defend this attack. You focus the enhanced protection energy solely into your arm to withstand the attack and used centrifugal force to deflect the attack, the Instructor commander asked. Yan replies yes and says that although he tried to deflect the attack, but in the end, he was the only one who gets deflected. The things Yan learned from the details that he read in the Found Emperor's book helped him. As if it weren't for that book, only his lower body would be left, like what happened to the trees. While Yan is getting up, Momon appears and says that the Instructor knows how to control the Black Dragon pretty well. Momon also asked Yan that who is this man. Yan replies that he is Instructor commander of the Special Forces Training Center. Momon says that the man's energy is quite familiar to him. That's normal since he's the current emperor's illegitimate son. He's a descendant of the founding emperor, Yan says. Hearing this, Momon gets angry and says that she won't let him off easily. Saying this, Momon rushed to attack the instructor, but as she is a spirit, her attacks didn't even touch the instructor's body. The instructor commander then tells Yan that the sword technique he just saw was one of the Black Shadow Art's first techniques, Dread Slash, and no trainee has seen the second technique yet. Do you know why? Because all of them died after seeing the first, in an utterly boring manner. Trainee Soldier, number 974. No, my apprentice, Yan. I truly wonder how many techniques you can last against. Hearing this, Yan smiles and says that, I don't know how many techniques there are, but I hope there's a lot of them. If I learn one technique each day, then I'll need 365 techniques to exist. The instructor tells Yan that it's nice to hear his cockily talk, and tells him that even if he learns one technique a day, it will still take him decades to learn all. Hearing this, Yan tells the instructor that there's no need for him to worry about the number of techniques he will need to show him. And from now on, he will only need to worry about what happens after he has shown it all to him. After that, the training session begins. The instructor beats Yan, and Yan also learns more every day. Yan manifested a black dagger on his hand and rushed with it to attack his master. Yan trained under the instructor commander. Every day and time passed just like that. It'd been 2 years that Yan has been training with the instructor commander. After 2 years, we can see all the trainees are gathered at the hall, and the combined ranking for this time's test is given to everyone. The top 50 trainees' names are put on the hall. This time also Yan is first, Lorina Beowulf is second, and Cruel Dwight is third. Everyone has grown taller and bigger. Lorina can't accept the results. After that day, Yan disappeared. He didn't even attend any training with them, and now he keeps getting number 1. Yan, just what kind of training have you been doing alone? Lorina wonders. After that day, Lorina didn't meet with Yan. She is frustrated and trains hard daily. She goes to dungeons and slays countless monsters, with the strong determination that on the next test, she will definitely beat Yan. Later, 2 more tests passed by, and Lorina couldn't get the first ranking from Yan. She deliberately pushed herself to Terran harder. She went to high-ranking dungeons and slays the boss monsters. Now she is on a level where she can easily kill an A-rank monster. Time passed by, and now, the last test for the trainees is conducting in the 3rd arena. The last test is to fight an instructor. This is an important test that decides who will join the special forces, depending on the performance they shown in the fight. Current Cruel is fight, and the others are watching the fight. Among them, Lorina is also there. To her, this test is just a formality and nothing else, as most of the high-ranked soldiers have already easily surpassed the instructors. Since a year ago, there haven't been any instructor that are of match with her, but if she don't participate in this test, she can't join the special forces. That means all trainee soldiers must attend this. Lorina is looking forward to see Yan. She wants to see that how much strong Yan has gotten in the last 4 years. While the instructor is fighting with Cruel, the instructor gets exhausted and tells Cruel that the test will stop here, and tells Cruel to go back to his seat as his evaluation is over. Even after hearing this, Cruel didn't stop and attacks the instructor. Cruel has gotten taller and he has turned more evil. He didn't want to stop the fight and tells the instructor that this is a fight, and he can't stop it just because he is afraid and wants to run away. Saying this, Cruel attacks the instructor's arms and leg and cuts them with his sharp nails. Lorina is seeing this silently. At that time, Roman and Kasha comes there and says Cruel has been acting like an asshole, and after he surpassed the instructors, he acts like he owns the whole world. Roman has bulked up and is the 4th rank holder, that poor instructor. He was unlucky enough to get paired with Cruel Roman. Go and help him. He's so pitiful. Kasha, who is the 5th ranked, says this. Hearing this, Roman says that the instructors also killed so many trainee soldiers, so they are just reaping that they sow. Kasha starts to test Roman that he is just saying this because he is scared to fight with Cruel. Lorina is standing still and thinks that Cruel always had a nasty personality, but now he has went crazy. He also recently killed the instructor that was appointed to Terran them. Seeing the hopeless instructor, the others starts to says that Y-on-1 is helping him. Some replies that Cruel is a crazy dog with a super rich family, and now, as they all will be graduating soon, no one wants to get in a scandal with the Dwight family. Cruel now breaks the sword of the instructor, and the instructor fall on the ground. Cruel rushed towards the instructor to kill him. At that time, Lorina uses her powers and creates ice spikes and makes some gap between Cruel and the instructor. Lorina gets on the arena and unsheath her sword and tells Cruel that she don't want to cause a scandal, but it's hard to overlook his behavior. Lorina then tells Cruel that she will make sure that there will be no scandals involving the Dwight family by not allowing Cruel to make a single sound. While saying this, she uses the Beowulf Supreme Technique Ice Sword. Seeing Lorina, Cruel gets crazy and laughs like a madman and says that he always wants to teach her a lesson before their graduation, but he didn't thought that an opportunity like this will appear in front on him. Lorina feels immense bloodlust coming from Cruel. Cruel gives a deadly smile and says that he will make her the last test of his life. After that, the other instructor takes the beaten and scared instructor out of the arena. Lorina then tells Cruel that he has always chosen to pick on easy targets. How about fighting someone stronger than him for once? Hearing this, Cruel gives a sinister laugh and says that Lorina is acting all superior like usual. As he is saying, Lorina can feel that the death energy that is coming from Cruel is getting stronger. Cruel then tells Lorina that he will wipe that haughty face of hers with the humiliation he is about to give her, and he will become the last test of her life. Saying this, the both of them jumped at each out and clashes. Lorina attacks with her sword while Cruel is using his hands. Lorina tells Cruel that if he needs a sword, it's not too late to go and pick one. Cruel replies that he only need his hands to defeat someone like her. The battle becomes fierce. The two of them are going neck to neck. Roman and Kasha is seeing this battle from the side. Roman then says that although it's by a little, Lorina is taking the lead. In 30 moves, Cruel will find it hard to catch up. Kasha says that she hopes that's the case, because the strange energy that Cruel is exuding, that's not the dark shadow arts of the special forces. It's also not the ultimate technique of the Dwight family. If he uses that, and unlike Lorina, Cruel really wants to kill his opponent. Hearing this, Roman looks at her and rubs her head and tells her that what would someone who came in the 5th place know? What did you say? You also could only secure 3rd in rank too. Kasha says this. Don't you know that the 3rd rank and above are basically peerless? Roman says. Kasha replies that she didn't care about the ranking that much because she has other priorities other than the rankings. I know what your priorities were. You created a personal organization of commoners and countryside nobles, a total of 80 of them, right? Although I'd say they're more like an idle fan club rather than a personal organization. You must have been quite busy trying to recruit those nobles. Roman says this to Kasha. Upon hearing this, Kasha tells Roman that he was also busy himself. Roman also gathered trainees who were either slaves or from foreign lands. He created an organization that's basically an army. Listening to this, Roman gets a bit angry and tells Kasha that she is way too interested in others' affairs. Kasha smiles and says that she can says that same about him. A battle is about the break between them, but hopefully they stops after hearing Cruel's scream. Lorina beats Cruel and holds the sword on his neck. I think this fight is over. Want to continue? If you always act up because you think you're strong, you'll eventually end up in this state. If you learn to be humble, you won't need to be humiliated. Understood? Lorina says this to Cruel in a strict tone. Cruel is about to surrender, but at that time, and Shadows comes out of Cruel and says, "You're going to let yourself lose again? Poor Cruel, you're always losing and letting people take things away from you. Forever losing Sing and getting things taken away. You'll keep losing and getting things taken away. If you fight and kill everyone, nothing will be taken from you. Remember once again, everything was yours. The mansion, the position of the successor within your family, your father's love. You're so pitiful, cruel, kill everyone. Nothing will be taken from you. The mansion, the successor. Position and your father's love would still be yours. All of it would still be your. As Cruel hears this, he comes in the control of the demon, and his desire for killing spikes up. His eyes turns blood red. Cruel then put his head up and starts to push himself and gets stabbed by Lorina's sword. Lorina gets confused and asked Cruel that what the hell is he doing? While pushing his neck further, Cruel says that there are people who would rather die than losing. Seeing this, Lorina quickly pulls out her sword and tells Cruel that if he has gone crazy, intending to kill himself. As Lorina takes away her sword, Cruel rushed towards her, saying that he knew that Lorina don't have the resolve to kill. Cruel then attacks her and sends her flying. As Cruel caught her off guard, Lorina couldn't defend herself and gets injured. As Lorina is defenseless, Cruel sees this and rushed to kill her. But the attempt of Cruel is stopped by a black wolf. Everyone gets shocked to see that this black wolf is Yan's. Yan comes and caught Lorina before she falls on the ground. Yan then calls his black wolf and looks at Cruel with his dreadful eyes. After seeing Yan, Cruel laughs and says that he is really lucky today, because at first he gets to teach Lorina a lesson, and now he will be able to teach Yan a lesson too. Yan first puts Lorina on the ground and tells her to rest beside the black wolf. Now as Yan stands in front of Cruel, he tells Yan that B has grew closer to a mutt, and asked Yan if he has learned a few circus tricks during the past years. Yan also tells Cruel that he hasn't changed a bit after all this years. In the meantime, Momon gets out and says it's pretty interesting. She tells Yan that Cruel has been eaten by the demonic energy. Yan says that he already knows that. Momon tells Yan that it's progressed quite a bit, and it'd be best to deal with him now. Otherwise, he'll fall and become a demonic human soon. As Momon is saying this, Cruel rushed to attack Yan, saying that what is he doing, mumbling to himself. Yan is calm, and he tells Cruel that he is thinking about his future. And the two of them eyed about to clash at that time. The instructor commander comes and tells everyone to be silent. The commander tells Yan that he appeared out of nowhere after 2 years and have gotten even more arrogant. He tells every to wrap things up as he is going to make the final announcement. As Cruel and Yan is still on the arena, the instructor commander give a frightening look and tells them to move quickly, as it'd be such a waste to die on the last day of the training. After that, everyone settled down and all the trainees line up in the arena. The instructors also line up beside the instructor commander. The instructor commander then strats his speech. First of all, he congratulates everyone for surviving until now. He says that this batch starts with a total of 1,000 trainees, but now only 200 tarnees are left, and this is a decent result. He also says that their strength and skills take up 50% of the final evaluation, and mana estimation will take up 50%. The final results will depend on what he has just mentioned, and they are no longer trainees anymore, so they have earned the right to be called something else other than their trainee number. They also have earned the right to be a Knight of the Empire. Empire. Knights are people who are able to control mana. There are a total of 10 ranks to measure how strong the knights are within the Empire. Rank 10, a knight who has learned how to use mana. Rank 9, a knight who possesses an energy core or circle. Rank 8, a knight who is able to resonate with their sword's name. Rank 7, a knight who is able to manifest energy onto items. Rank 6, a knight who is able to imbue energy onto a sword or their body. After the evaluation is done, and it's time for the results. As usual, Yan is at top, and his knight rank is 5. The scene changes, and we can see that Yan is walking through the upper-ranked trainees' accommodation hallway. It'd been 2 years since Yan has a decent accommodation. As he is walking, Momon asked Yan that what is this knight rank? Yan says that she don't know about this because this knight rank don't exist 1,000 years ago. Yan then tells Momon that the knight rank is basically a rank given to a knight like the mana circles. Most of the trainees would get rank 7 to 8. Even though the rank doesn't look high, they're at a level where they're capable of taking out most demi-human monsters. The 4 elites are ranked 6. There are very few people within the training center who can defeat the 4 of them to become rank 6. At their age means they're elites among the elites. As Yan is telling this to Momo at that time, Lorina comes to him and says that he has changed a lot in this 2 years. Yan tells her that she has also changed a lot, and she tells her that she should seek proper treatment for her injuries. Lorina asked Yan that if the reason he saved her in the match between Cruel and her is because he thinks that she would lose to Cruel. "What are you saying?" Yan asked. Lorina gets angry, and he looks at Yan and tells him not to. Thinks that he has won just because his rank is 5, because a rank is just a rank, and it can't portray the full strength of the person. Empire. Knight rank 5, people who are about to attain enhanced sword aura, the dream of knights. Although there are some rank 5 knights within the Empire, the only person who's achieved rank 5. At the age of 17 is the current crown prince, Leon. Lorina then leaves, tells Yan that he looks ugly in this long hairs. Yan is puzzled as he don't know why she is so angry. As Lorina walks, she felt ashamed of her behavior. She remembers the memory of her older brother, who has also achieved the rank 5, but due to Prince Leon, he didn't receive the title of being the youngest rank 5 in the Empire. But there is the thing that she didn't want to acknowledge, that Yan is better than her brother. After that, as Yan is walking to his room, Momon tells him that she didn't thought that being ranked 5 would be such a great deal. She then asked Yan that why he is hiding his real strength, and if he showed his real strength, he would get rank 4. Showing only this much is perfect for now. It's enough to get moths gathering around me like how they're attracted to flame. Yan says this to Momon. The scene shifts, and we can see the instructor commander is walking along the other instructor. The instructor tells him that because of Yan, the other trainees would be discouraged. The instructor commander says that Yan has exceeded his expectations, especially the Black Wolf. He never taught Yan anything about this. He himself modified the Black Shadow sword art and created the Black Wolf. The other instructor then tells him that he is favoring Yan too much, and if this continues, the order of the training center will disrupt. Senior Instructor Zach. I guess you have become fearless, now that you have become a senior instructor. Since. When have you gotten the right to tell me what your personal opinions are? The instructor commander says this while giving a deadly look. Senior Instructor Zach asked for forgiveness. The instructor commander then takes his leave while telling Zach to take care of the rest. As the instructor commander leaves, Zach's team comes, and Zach says that it's time to deal with Yan. After that, we can see Yan in his huge room, sleeping peacefully in this king-size bed. As Yan is sleeping quietly at that time, Momon get over him with the intention of taking over his body. Momon has been gathering strength for the past 2 years, so that when she gets Yan off guard, she can take over his body. Momon gives a deadly look and uses her magic to brainwash Yan. She uses Mind Breaker spell. She slowly guides her mana towards Yan's brain. She thinks that by the time Yan opens his eyes, she will take this body. But unfortunately for her, Yan noticed it and opens his eyes and says, "Come down." He tells this to his Black Wolf. As Momon was casting her magic on Yan, the Black Wolf gets behind Momon and is about to bite her head. Seeing Yan, Momon tries to trick him, saying that she was just seeing if his mana circuit is okay or not. Yan shouts and tells her to stop that bullshit, and he warns her that if she tries this kind of things again, he will trun her into dust. Momon nags and says that she had to do this because Yan is delaying to get her new body. While the two of them are talking at that time, somebody knocks on the gate and asks if trainee Yan is inside. Yan gets out of the bed and starts to walk towards the gate, thinking that who would come to him so late at night. As Yan opens the door, we can see Senior Instructor Zach. Zach tells Yan that the Instructor Commander is looking for him. He tells Yan to be quick and follow him. After that, Yan walks behind the Zach, and they comes in the Special Forces Freedom Shopping Street alleyway. As it's nighttime, the street is empty, and there is a strange silence. Yan and Zach is walking. Yan asks Zach that as the test is already over, so why the Instructor Commander is looking for him so late at night. Zach is staying silent and is walking quickly. Yan asked him that why the Instructor Commander asked him to meet in such a silent place. He then asked if is it really true that the instructor is looking for him. Hearing this, Zach stops and he draws the hidden weapon from his hand. Sliffs. Zach attacks Yan with the dagger and says that he is quite smart. As Zach turns to attack, he gets shocked to see that Yan is not there. Using his agility skills, Yan gets behind Zach and says that he is fast too. Yan then attacks the instructor and sends him flying with his 1-inch Dark Soul 7th form punch. Zach lands and his mask gets out of his face. Zach gives an angry look and asks Yan if he already knew about this. How could I not, when you guys exude such intense killing intent? Guess you guys are not that well trained in covert training yet, Yan says. Yan then looks at Zach and noticed the crimson-colored sword energy that is coming out of his dagger. The only people capable of using that sword energy are rebels. Yan then asked, "You're a senior instructor, right? Does the instructor commander know about what you're doing? This isn't what a senior instructor should be doing. Are you sure you can handle the consequences of this?" Zach hears this and calls Yan a bastard. Zach tells Yan that if he thinks that he is such an amazing guy just because he is ranked 5 knight, and if that arrogance of his is coming from because he has done well in the tests. Zach then calls his subordinates and says that he wants to see how long his arrogance stays. Yan looks at all the people and says that they won't be able to beat him with his few people. Later we can see that Yan is defeated and he has been caught by the instructors. Momon asked Yan why didn't he fought back and just let him caught by them. Yan tells Momon to shut up and watch what happens. The instructors put Yan in the middle and surrounds him. Yan begs them to at least tell him what the reason behind doing all of this. The other instructors tell Zach they should kill him quickly, and there is no need to hear his last words. Yan requests Zach to tell him the reason, so that after death he can reflect on that. Zach then speaks up and asked Yan that if he remembers what happened 2 years ago. Yan asked, "What happened? You led some trainees and escaped from the special forces. A lot of instructors were mobilized to capture you and the other escapees, and everyone was killed by you. My brother was among them. You probably don't even remember it, killing the squad leader of the 3rd Pursuit Squad. My brother, I won't forget how my brother lost his life because of a vermin like you. I still remember how his corpse looked. It looked like he was in great pain, the expression that he made. I've been waiting so long for this day. I'll kill you today and appease my brother's soul. Go to the afterlife and ask my brother for forgiveness." Zach tells this to Yan and tries to kill him. As Zach is about to attack, Yan calls his wolf and uses the Black Shadow Sword Art 1 Materialization Back Wolf. He cuts the hand of the instructor, Zach. Yan tells sorry to Zach for what happened to his brother. And as that, they both fought to survive, and Yan won, so there is no place for grudges to exist here. Yan tells Zach they were the guy to taught them this, and said that he didn't believe that so mang instructors come here for this personal grudge. Zach hold his cut of hand and asked Yan that what nonsense he is spouting. Yan then looks fiercely at them and asked if they are rebels. Zach was from Armenia. They had a revolt that shook up the whole continent, even though it still ended in a failure. There was a group of people that led numerous rebels, so they rallied all sorts of rebels and called themselves the Revolutionary Army, the Crimson Revolutionaries. The name originated from the sword aura that they used, the Crimson Revolution. Their swords are always bloody, and they use their own blood to create a dark red sword aura. The battles of the Crimson Revolutionaries always ended in a bloodbath. The Crimson Revolution was known to be an artistic skill that was passed down when the leader of the Crimson Revolutionaries founded it. If a knight on his level had used it, they could have made it even more destructive. But there was a downside, which was that it consumed blood. In order to overcome this downside, the Crimson Revolutionaries absorbed blood. Yan tells the rebels that he actually wanted to meet them, but they have saved his time by coming here BH their own. Yan then asks them that if the Instructor Commander is the one giving them orders, or is it someone else from the Special Forces? Brat, I don't know how you found that out, but the moment you mention the revolutionary, you can forget about dying easily. Zack says this while boiling in anger. Zack commands his men to begin the Crimson Revolution. Hearing this, two men steps forward, pointing their sword at Yan and releases the crimson-colored sword energy. Yan gets surrounded, and the rebels' men attacks him from both front and back. Yan determines that the level of this Crimson Revolution Knights is rank 5. Now Yan gets serious, and he calls the Black Wolf, and the wolf gets attached to his arm, turning into a sword. Yan then uses the Black Shadow sword art, Dread Slash. Zack sees this and gets astonished that at such a young age, Yan has reached the level where he can use the Instructor Commander's Dread Slash skill. Yan covers his sword with a pitch-black awar and slashes vertically. As soon as he slashed, the whole area gets covered in this pitch-black aura. The awar was so intense that it reaches the sky. Zack gets flying away and hits a wall. He is sitting down and is speechless to see what just happened. Yan just swings his sword once and all the rebels expect Zack is torn into pieces. As Yan stands in front on Zack, that Yan is the real monster. Zack asked Yan that what is he? Is he the spy planted by the Empire? Zack also asked that how did he find about them, and if the Instructor Commander also knew about them. Yan steps on Zack's injured leg and tells him that he is the one who will be asking the questions. Yan reached his pocket and takes out his pendant. He tells Zack not to worry, and he mighty spare his life if he gets a satisfactory answer. Yan opens the pendant and asks Zack if he has seen or know anything about this insignia. Zack sees the insignia and gets shocked. He asks that what is this insignia doing in such a pendant? What's this insignia? Does it represent a family or a guild? How is it related to the Instructor Commander? Does anyone else wear this insignia too? Yan asked Zack while grabbing his collar. Zack looks at Yan and asked why someone like him have that? As Zack is saying something about the insignia, bump starts to occur in his face. Yan asked, that is happening to his face. As Zack is about to say something, his face gets bloated, and after that, his face just explodes. Yan wonders if Zack committed suicide. Momin gets out and says no. She further tells that there was restriction placed on him via magic, and he probably had no idea as well. Yan asked, what's that? Energy and blood that would be triggered when a certain word is mentioned or a certain action is done, it'd explode and kill the one it's placed on. I don't know who was behind it, but he's very meticulous about security. Just so you know, what I tried to cast on you was also a type of restriction. Momon says this to Yan. From this incident, Yan finds something that not only does the Instructor Commander carry the same insignia, but it's also related to the rebels. Yan's parents are also involved. He's starting to get a bad feeling about this. Yan then turns around and starts to walk. He is going to Instructor Commander to report this. You're going to find him after killing all his subordinates? You sure he's not the one who sent them? Momon says. Yan tells that probably the Instructor Commander sent them, but Yan probably wasn't the one that the Instructor Commander wanted to kill. In the meantime, the instructor commander arrives, and he is silently standing behind Yan. Yan noticed it and asked him that if he sent them to him so that he can kill them. Natch. Why would I? No teacher would ask their own subordinates. Zack had seen talking back lately. So, I thought he needed to be taught a lesson. The instructor commander says this. He also tells Yan no need to report, he can go back now, as the real mission will start tomorrow, so he should rest up. As with his current level, his hands would be full with whatever's upcoming. Then the next day, we can see the Continental train heading towards northern Bachaof territory. Inside the Tarin, everything is normal. The ticket checker is watching that, if all the passenger has their ticket. Yan is also in that train. The ticket checker comes to him and asked for the ticket. Yan takes the ticket from his pocket and shows it to him. The man sees this and says that everything is okay and tells him to enjoy the journey. As the train is moving, Yan wonders that as now the tests are over, so they are sending him on a leisure train trip. Yan is moving to the north for a mission. The trainees that survived the tests have become official Special Forces members and were deployed for their first missions immediately. They were deployed into 4 battlefields. With the Empire as the center, they were sent north, south, east, and west. That's basically the whole continent. They asked people to choose which area they wanted to go to, and they were assigned their missions there. The east, which shares a border with the land of undead and wraiths. Kasha and 80+ of her followers went there. The west, where strange phenomena and monsters appear. Roman and 50+ people under him were deployed there. The stormy south, where pirates and tornadoes appear. Plus members that belong to the higher ranks were deployed there. The harsh north, where the lands are frozen and the borders are shared with the barbarians' territory. The training center's #1 trainee, Yan, and 3 other members were deployed there. Only a very small number of people volunteered for the north. It's because the cold there is said to be able to freeze even dragons. Yan wanted to come here alone, but as 3 other trainees volunteered, so he has to come as a group of 4. The 3 other trainees are rank 6 Knight Cruel and Lorina, and 1 rank 8 Knight Churly. Cruel asked Lorina that if she followed him here so that she can take revenge. Lorina stays silent and just ignored him. Churly tells Cruel to shut up and says that probably Miss Lorina also thinks so. Cruel looks at her and asked who is she, that she is acting like her maid. Churly says that she has been working with Lorina ever since Blade Mountain Ranges. After Lorina saved her that day, she decided that she will go where she goes. No one has ever stepped in like that for her before. Churly then tells Cruel that he should keep his smelly mouth shut. Cruel gets angry and asked if she had a dead wish. The 2 of them starts quarreling. Yan feels annoyed and says that his trip will not be a quiet one. The reason that Cruel decided to go to the north is because of Yan. Cruel wants to kill Yan in this trip. He hated the sight of Yan from the very first of their meeting. Yan always humiliated him, and as he can't kill Yan inside the training ground, so Cruel decides that he will surely kill him in this trip, as Cruel holds his dagger. Yan noticed it. He gives dreadful look at Cruel and asked, how many hits does he want? Cruel gets scared and he says 1. Yan then punched Cruel. Lorina is sitting quietly in her own thoughts. She didn't thought that she would go back to his hometown so soon. The head of the Lorina's family scolds her and warns her that if she takes her bother name one more time, they will exile her from the family. Hearing this, Lorina didn't look back and left her family territory. But even after she left the family, she didn't find any news about her brother. So she don't want to go back like this. Yan sees Lorina's gloomy face and gets that she is not happy going to her hometown. But Yan looks at her and smiles, thinking that she will soon hear some shocking news that will even make her surprise. After that, Yan looks back as see that the Imperial Advisor is in this train. The assistant of the advisor is convincing him to go back, or else the Crown Prince will be very disappointed. The advisor tells him that the teaching of the Crown Prince is complete and he has nothing more to teach him. The reason that Jan chose to come to North is because of the imperial advisor Hugo. Hugo is the teacher of the Emperor and the Crown Prince, the person known as the brains of the Empire. Although he was a commoner who knew no magic or martial arts, he became a respected great person of the Empire with just academics and philosophy. Even the Emperor recognized that and bestowed the title of a count to him, who was a commoner. Even in Jan's past life, Hugo was magnificent even in his last moments, befitting of his title. Hugo once goes to the Emperor and says, "Don't you know that the territory would be a living hell if the local lord doesn't understand the pain of the commoners? Please open your eyes." The reason the rebels can even call themselves a revolutionary army is because you've abandoned your people. Do you really not see that? Where did the wise and intelligent ruler you once were go? You mustn't become a ruler who is drunk on useless power by ignoring your people, who are the true strength of a ruler. Your Majesty, the imperial advisor kept advising the Emperor while bleeding and crying for 3 days and nights. The Emperor rewarded his loyalty by giving him death. But that'll only happen way later in the future. Not now. After a while, a train employee approaches Hugo and asked him that they have prepared a VIP room for him, and if he wants, he can come with them to that room. Hugo agrees to go. The employees are guiding Hugo to that room. As they are going, the employees show some kind of hand signs to their subordinates. Jan reads their hand sign. The hand sign says that the train will enter a tunnel, and when it enter, there they will assassinate Hugo, the imperial advisor. Jan sees this and says that he is waiting for this.